All right, we're starting right now. So here's one thing I want to get out in the open that I feel like a little bit of an idiot about. I just learned recently, you know that little dude, I say little dude, but he's a little... So he's got like a old man face. But he's a little dude.
I know you're talking about.
He goes viral.
Yes.
Hasbulla.
That's him, yeah.
So I just learned that that's an old man in a young little boy's body.
What?
You didn't know that?
No, I
Benjamin
thought...
Button, man.
Listen,
Benjamin Button.
hold on. I thought the novelty of it was that he just was a old, like a little boy with a young man or an old man's face. and that's what
It's like a full-grown adult, bro.
And that's what
Mike Tyson didn't know that.
I thought that's what made that shit special. It was like some freak shit where it was like, oh man, it's just a cute little kid, but he's just got this old soul of a face. Come to turn out, he's like on the Webster vibe, and it's got like the whole.
The Webster vibe.
How did y'all feel about
Webster vibe?
What you talking about, Willis?
Listen, that was kind of a movement at the moment, right? When Webster
at that moment?
Yeah.
Because we had Different Strokes, and you had Gary Coleman, right?
Yeah,
But he passed. God bless the dead.
I bet you he was a freak.
But you know how he passed?
He was a security guard.
He had multiple aneurysms, and the doctor said it was different strokes.
Is that how we started 400? Is that how we did?
And that's the wrap, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nerd Rage 400.
Our last episode.
The last episode.
Before we get canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ironically, I stole that joke from Adam. How you like that, motherfucker? So yeah, it's episode 400. Everybody rage and drinks, makes some noise. God damn it. We got a full room in this bitch tonight. And
Who we got? Who we got, Bobby?
So I'm gonna try to get everybody to hop on and at least say what's up to begin with. We got so to speak. God bless, man. Y'all are fucking nasty. We got Evan, the king of Pasaconda.
Hey, what's up? Winning them spades tournaments.
So it's funny. It's funny. He's winning the space tournament. And he's losing the counting tournament. And then we got Maryland Phil.
What's up?
The Velocithirster. Maryland Phil. Real quick, I just want to thank you for all the year of fucking putting in the notes and shit. And fucking.
Thank you for using at least 15% of them.
Yeah, no, it is appreciated. I feel foul when I delete them all, but but
Delete me. I got one left.
It is appreciated. We got Brink in the house.
What's up, y'all?
Brink has actually been like it's actually the reason why he's here is just because it's been a tradition that you've been here for the past couple. Like actually, even Laura today was like, has Brink been on Nerd Rage? And I was like, I think 100, 200, and 300.
Every anniversary.
So it's just like a tradition that you get invited and are here, and as long as you keep coming, you'll keep getting.
It's funny. I think this is the first time I'm here. For
Is it really?
One of these.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, don't tell her that.
But hey,
God damn, I had to edit that out.
The spreadsheets.
Yeah.
The charts.
All the spreadsheets. For
charts.
those listening, he does all the spreadsheets, the charts and shit for like HasLab
He's
and
a
stuff.
crowdfunding
And a very analytical guy.
Charts are great.
It is.
Charts are love.
Yeah.
The chartalizer.
We got Stay at Home Greg in the house.
This is the motherfucking way. What's good? Hey, guess what, y'all? I'm still at home. I'm still at home.
Let's make some noise for Greg's wife making all the money. Dude, don't you think though? Because I mean, and you know, Evan's here, so obviously Evan and I have all heard it. He talked about reparations a few times, but like, don't you think it is time for women to start tricking on us a little bit?
Yeah, man, most definitely. You know what I'm saying?
I mean? It's only
look,
fair.
Here's the recipe to it: baby powder in your left hand. After that, you take care of everything else. Hey, damn. Hey, nothing else.
Straight from the Mothman Mountains of West Virginia,
Wonderful.
We have the Magic Man himself, Chris Maul.
Howdy,
from
fellas.
Mao, depending on how you want to say it.
Thank you for having me.
For those listening, Chris Mao has so many baby mamas, and they all get along great. We should just make some noise.
Yes, please. I should be clapping.
Next up, we got KC, my new kid Icarus. He's This is why I say
I'm
that.
an adult, man.
He is. But it's that 5'2" stature, and I know nothing. No, but I appreciate you, man, and whenever we're short people, you're one of the first people to jump.
Fuck. man. Here, Ricky. Fuck these. I'm leaving.
Hey, I'll go ahead and introduce the new sound pad now.
Bop, bop. That funky chopper sound.
We don't get to hear
That was awesome.
And then this one I like is kind of crazy to me. Ricky Tiki Timber, who also runs the Nerd Rage Chatty Patty Chat, which I think is pretty much just him talking to himself for weeks on end.
I like to have intelligent conversations, so I just talk to myself, so it's legit.
That motherfucker flew up here from Florida to be here. Let's make some.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all crazy enough to have me. It's worth the cash.
Yeah, and I was about 1 week short from saying, man, maybe we should just scratch these videos. The views ain't up that much.
This was Ricky's last time in Nerd Rage.
but here you are. We have a new guest, a local fellow who's hit me up, and I was like, and he was like, hey man, I want to come through, swing through, and I was like, babe, well, we got 400 coming up. If you want to swing through for that, it'd be a good time.
I thought it was like 400 people.
No.
Close.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
It's gonna feel like it in a couple hours when your fucking pit starts screaming. You wore the big hoodie. You're gonna be inspired, creative, and elevated in pits.
Yo, my name is Night Train 357. I'm just a big nerd and a big fan. Actually, it's my dad's name.
What you mean by
It's my dad's name. I'm a junior. It's my CB. It's my father's CB radio name. And when he passed away, I took on the name to pay homage to my dad.
Oh, you
Man, that's real.
Hey man, you gotta make it. As soon as a motherfucker's dead and shit, you can't make the jokes.
Yeah.
You know, but had he not been dead, and God bless the dead.
Oh, it would have been hilarious.
But had he not been dead, my joke would have been like, "Oh, you come from a long line of nerds."
that still tacks up because he was. There were 3 nerd things in the house. When I growing up, there was Transformers. And my mother was James Bond, and my father was anything Battlestar Galactica.
And the CB radios.
And the CB radio.
Yeah, that's a big.
And the bass guitar. He was a bass guitar player.
I got a buddy of mine,
Scientist with it.
This guy, Scotty, who some of us know in here, but Scotty's a big CB radio guy, and he will get on there and talk to people, and some of them motherfuckers start wanting to get personal with them.
No doubt.
Where are you located? Where are you located? I'm located in Maryland. Oh shit, I'm in Mississippi.
It was painful as a kid because I wanted to watch Animaniacs and he wanted to have one of those towers in the back that would bleed through all my television. So it's like I'm hearing Narf and then I'm hearing audio test. Yeah, big buddy. He's like, I can talk to someone in Alaska. Yeah, I just want to watch Link.
Coming through clear.
Yeah.
Coming through clear. And then we got, of course, a return visitor. We got Chucky O in the house.
How's everyone doing today?
Yes. Hits us with that Chucky O swag.
Get your white voice ready.
And then I say this person before we get to the core cast, just because I grew up with this dude, LaDante. You are here. How are you?
Damn, dude, you put the government.
I put the la on it. I put
son.
because I want to put that la.
All right, on 400. It's cool. What's up, y'all? Love you.
And then from there, Chris Pinkerton, if you're nasty.
What's up, party people?
And the last surviving member of the original.
I'm not even part of the original, though.
Well, since there was one original one that I could shout out, goddammit. We got Uncle Dolphin in the house.
What's up?
Hey, and I got a new pad for you. Hold on.
I want to warn you. The spy balloon was just a beginning. Next, they're sending the Chinese alien ships. I want to warn you.
And then, of course, I'll be your host for this evening. My name is Bobby.
Hey, hang on a sec. Let's give a motherfucking round of applause for Bobby motherfucking Skullface.
You really shouldn't.
You're the only one who's been here for all 400
That's
episodes,
right.
man. You're the only one.
Yeah,
I started
that's
like
fair.
80 something.
That's fair. Let's see if it's too much. Hey, hit those lights real quick. Let's see if it's too much. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Let's hold on. Let's not get too crazy. Hold on.
Vibey.
Vibey.
And we need to do this every week, bro.
This was at the
After Dark.
Yeah, this is an After Dark episode.
It definitely is.
So there's a couple other things that I have been kicking around in my head before we get to some of the things. And to those that are listening, we recorded episode 399. It was 2.5 hours.
That was a good one.
Filled with a lot of decent conversation, and it sounds like for 2.5 hours. So it's lost. So this is probably going to come out before episode 399. So here's a couple questions.
Hold on, Bobby, real quick.
Yeah. What do you got?
I need to.
Yeah.
It was a great episode.
It was.
The thing is, like, what do we try to recapture?
There's no way.
Mainly because I deleted my notes. So,
and it was funny because like I knew something was wrong.
yeah, because you kept stopping and saying, looking
I knew something
thought
was
it was
wrong,
good.
but I kept looking at it and it kept saving and everything. So I was like, it's fine, and then until it wasn't.
The funny thing is, like, you've talked about a Nerd Rage, like, I recorded this review and it's just gone. And since I've been on here, I know it happened like once or twice before I came on, but like,
but it hasn't been a long time.
This is the first time since I've been on here that we've completely lost it.
Dude, I remember when we used to have, like, in the middle of the podcast, find out we lost it and start over.
Yeah, I
an
remember
hour
those days. We might have done that once since I've been here, but to lose the whole episode, heartbreaking.
Yeah. You would think.
No,
I blame the cross frequency androids that sit at the table.
Hey, y'all gonna stop attacking us.
Thank you. I feel more discriminated about having an Android than any other way, man.
I tell you, man. I remember when they let you. I remember when they let you on Instagram, man. It was the biggest mistake. It was the biggest
been downhill
mistake
since then, bro.
That's why I be fucking with y'all group chats.
Yeah, we don't fuck with you in a group chat. Let me ask you a question. Do any of you have older family members or anything in an old folks home, or have had at some point?
I have historically, but not at the moment.
Great grandma.
Yeah. So, have you ever gone to visit? So I did too. My grandma fell one time. I know that's some cliche shit. I wish it was something more interesting, but it's just what happened, and she was in there for a bit. And when I went in there, and I know you know, and I know a lot of y'all know, these older women in the old folks' homes, they are horn dogs, bro.
Okay.
I got one behind you. I got
That
one
doesn't
too.
work for me because my great grandmother, maybe there were some horn dogs, but she was like 98.
Yeah,
when
no,
she went in.
mine
So
was
she was
mine was old as hell too, and I'm not talking about my grandma, obviously, but like there was other women in there. You know what I mean? There was other women in there that was like,
ladies in there.
yeah,
I got one
behind Phil. I got one behind Phil.
So
yeah, they wanna,
You said your grandmother was in there, 98.
My great grandma.
Yeah,
Great-grandma.
she was hoeing.
in Cecil County, Cecil County,
yeah,
where I went to high school, we
Yeah.
had to get so many community service hours for high school. So I did one at
you getting out of that creative shit.
So my cousin and I did what?
Listen, I'm from Alabama. Cousins is so funny.
It's a whole nother level down there.
But we did our community service hours at the local nursing home. So we worked there as volunteers, help the people with games and stuff. And the ladies there, they're wild.
Yeah.
Like I had some 70, she was like 75. She wanted to show me her mole and she started lifting up her shirt. I was like, that's okay, man. I don't need to see that. And they had the official paid staffers rush in and take her away because she was about to like undress right in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Don't knock it till you try.
Okay,
Look,
I'm knocking it.
I got
no, go ahead.
I got two for you.
Yeah,
where
go
I
ahead.
live at, if you Google this,
Florida
the
man?
highest STD count for
Yeah, it's
elderly
old
people
folks.
is in the Villages, Florida, which
Yup.
is about 25 minutes from my house.
With
Right.
them upside down pineapples and them
They
fucking
have
shower
the
scrunchies.
shower
Flamingos,
koozies,
don't
and it's like a
forget
color
flamingos.
coordinated thing. They line them up on top of their car racks, and what the color says is what they're willing to get down with.
Yeah,
Great.
I feel it.
And hit me a litter.
Bro, you
I'ma
just
put you
asked
on mic.
where it is.
I'ma put
It's
you
in
on-
Florida, and you don't
It's
want
like
no part of
Central
that
Florida,
dude,
bro.
Cox.
It's a whole nother heat. But then where I work at,
Give it
too,
20 years.
is actually a medical facility for Alzheimer dementia patients. I'm a chef there.
Yeah,
There's this one lady. I'm
you
like,
ain't even gonna remember this.
There's this. Oh, I'm not drunk. There's a. It's gonna be shitty because y'all don't know. But no, there's this one lady. She hits me up. Everyone's like, I ain't gonna put no names out, but she'll say some off the wall shit. She's a smoker. I have a lighter. She wants to go out and smoke. She'll be like,
Hey, baby, let me tell you, like, she does like that shit from like Grandma's Boy, like the old lady talking about how she used to bang Frank Sinatra. That's this lady that I work with.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
so
you are lucky I'm not Bobby. I would fuck you up.
Well, yeah. and how old your husband? Because I'm gonna cuck him. You got anything on this?
No, I ain't.
That's all right. That's all right. So
nothing I want before.
Oh man. So I'll tell you, man. Like, I feel like 400. I feel like I have $1 million idea.
Oh, here we go.
Right? We're like,
I'm in.
Right.
Say less.
We start an escort service.
I'm in.
But just for nursing home chicks.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Say less.
And like, dude, like I'm talking. You talking about the bare minimum that you gotta.
Let me know what I need to promote. I got you on Instagram, son.
I'll make the promo videos all day, bro.
I am a graphic designer as well. So. I made this t-shirt. So.
Dude, hold on. You know, like it's like you know, like if you think about it, it's like you don't even have to pay for you just feed her. You know, you don't have to pay for the food.
Do you even have to feed her? I think someone's feeding her already.
Like, this is how I'm thinking. Like, I'm like, man, like
it's a zero overhead.
Yeah, the cost of entry is so low,
so to speak.
Yeah.
Wait. Are we providing escorts for the old folks, or are we using the old folks as the escorts?
No. We are providing escorts for the old folks.
I see how you're confused because I was also like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So what's my cut? Like, how much do my money do you want?
It depends. Like, I got to look at it because I would imagine a lot of it depends on their insurance rates and
I like how they get Medicare. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
First of all, you need a business number, and then we need to tax write off.
Hey, listen, I've got an IEN. We can handle it, but Bobby, I like the way you work the word depends in so much.
right.
I'll let you know.
Good nights. Good nights make more good mornings.
I'm on this for volunteer work, so you ain't even got to pay me.
Get some volunteer hours in.
I was just thinking about it, like there's probably a big, because I did find out like our OnlyFans review idea.
Mm-hmm. There's already a
market.
If you have an idea, it's probably already been taken.
But I don't feel like nobody take it because nobody's as nasty as me, Joe. I feel like,
I feel like you need to look it up.
Because
you need to go through OnlyFans, and there's some shit on there.
Dude, I would. What do you do? Like, you watch like what, Law and Order? I could do. I mean, I could whatever. I got. You know what I mean? Like, I could do it.
Matlock while I go down on you.
I could do it. Like,
Murder She Wrote.
Like,
that shit, I'm loud.
Kick it.
Murder She Wrote.
Kick it old school. Real old school.
You also have to get them to sign a waivers in case they have a heart attack.
Yeah, they didn't even die on you, bro.
And then you got to buy a crock
That's a problem.
pot for the
You need
lube
some
to
kind of
keep it
waiver.
warm like a gentleman.
Right.
Like a gentleman.
Listen, that's not a problem. That's a market share.
Really, the first thing you need to do is come up with a mission statement. That's the most important.
Yeah, it is
satisfaction.
Guaranteed.
Satisfaction.
That's how we start with branding. You got to start with your mission statement, and then that expands your entire brand.
My mission statement is
Bow, bow. That funky chopper sound.
We're gonna show it.
I like that rhythm a little bit, don't you?
We got to have a probably need a fluffer on deck. Being honest.
You know what? But I got news for you. Look, wait, what? I think I can get it done.
I mean, bro, you don't need a fluffer. Just take a fucking Viagra, bro. I'll provide.
I don't think I need that.
Oh, bro, we got the hookup. Holla if you hear me.
I don't think I need that because let me tell you something. I'm not a handsome man. Right?
I mean, you're not the only one on the job, though, are you? Are you one man crew?
Well, I mean, you got to start small.
Oh,
you start from
so to speak.
You start. You got to. I'm coming in, so to speak, at the ground floor. And then I'm working my way up to the fourth, you know what I mean, depending on how tall that nursing home is. But and I'm trying to say is like, because I think as a God, it's not like I'm not going to be on anybody's calendar next year, right? Like, I feel like a lot of us in here feel that way. Like, we're not going to be on somebody's like calendar.
So I should throw away that calendar I got at the house.
Am I on it?
I mean, maybe.
We're going back to the previous question.
All right, Bobby, let me ask you this. Let's say
with that being said, I'm saying that it might do something for my self-esteem. I'm getting something out of it. You got to find your work rewarding.
Bro, if that's what
I'm trying to get to.
You set the bar really low.
Hey, you got to get back to the community, and that's your way of giving back.
Thank
and
you,
it
man.
works for you, son.
Thank you, man.
I got you. I hear you.
Thank you, man.
That's somebody's grandma. They need to be happy too.
Grandmas need love too.
We just need to fill out the billing codes so we can file under Medicare.
Yeah.
Services rendered.
Yeah.
Clean up on aisle 5.
Well, let's go around and catch up with some people first. So, like, Evan, how you been recently, man? Evan, by hook or by crook?
Post February.
By hook or by... No, he's been out here post-February. By hook or by crook, you have made it out once a month. You have stood to your word. How you doing?
I've stayed true to my word. I'm doing great, actually. I got no complaints, you know, coming off a hard fought win.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
It is what it is. You know, glad we played. I wish the other team had stepped their game up a little bit, but we'll try it again later.
Learn how to count your fucking books, son. We only locked up because y'all said what y'all had, son.
Just for some context,
everybody who keeps saying that they couldn't count the books was the people that lost because they didn't count it correctly.
I can't help that y'all illiterate.
No. So against the suggestion of the majority of the crowd, 4 of these fools played spades before we got down here. And so that's what all this book nonsense is about. If those of you that aren't familiar,
and the truth is,
they ain't talking about the bookmobile.
Is Dante and I were on one team, and Greg and Evan were on the other team, and Dante and I knew we had 5. But we locked it up for the sake of excitement. We threw ourselves on the sword, you know. And then it's funny because I like, you know, I know that I know that Evan's an extremely bright motherfucker, you know. But I'd never really tested. Like I tested certain things, like can he read a room? Can he see the forest from the trees?
I was like, dude, that's about to get some dark humor.
Can he see the far? The one thing I did is just the basic shit like ABC, count to 10, shit like that. And turns out that they're a little confused on what 7 means versus 6. And Dante and I try to make it exciting, man. And I feel like we really were soldiers in that shit, man. To be honest with you, Dante.
Hey, I'm not done thinking about this.
Sounded real nice.
I'll be back.
Yeah. What about you, Chucky O? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Chucky O, how's your heart? You all right?
My heart's great.
Damn.
Damn. Because he just recently had another little scare, and I'm like,
it was kind of a BS thing. It's like medication adjustment and little extra heartbeats every here and there, and everything's good. Feeling good. I'm definitely running more than anyone in this room still.
That's for sure.
Even with the wonky.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, no, good. Reading some books, playing some video games, watching some movies. Life's good.
What books are you reading?
So right now, it's the Talent Code. It's about like coaching and how to see talent and develop it. It's like just coaching.
So we can take that to our nursing home idea. Talent and coaching.
And I'm glad. So what talent are you picking up in the room so far? Wait. Specifically for selling the old folks home escort service.
Just leaning into the concept and the nitty gritty of the business. I think everyone in this room is really willing to get down on one knee and
or two.
Yeah, and really go deep and make it work.
Don't limit me to one.
Let's see, Dante. What about you, man? It's been forever since you've been here, man.
Yeah, man, I miss February, Black History Month. My bad.
I know. You don't have to apologize to me.
Did you?
It's Evan. You got to apologize
to. Thank you. I've been good.
And let me tell you something. Evan, Greg, and even Casey, they let him in somehow. Them motherfuckers let me have it, so to speak, for fucking 2 hours and 45 minutes.
I'm just glad that my work travels take me away from the show occasionally. So
yeah.
There could be some
I would have called out of work.
And
for
then
that.
Joe sitting in the back like, I'm not white adjacent today.
I've been cool, you know, podcasting, a bunch of them.
How's it all going?
You got what, 12 podcasts?
No
wonder he's never on here.
At least
consider number 4, but like we just did Colompton 100, did a bunch of whiskey, got drunk, fun times.
Yeah, let's make some noise.
Thank you. That's all I got.
That's all I came here for.
Who got the loose mic?
Where's the loose mic at? Maryland Phil, how are things been? How have things been?
Good. Job's going well, and can't complain.
Talk about Metallica.
Okay, so the new Metallica album just dropped. Yeah.
So how do you feel about the new Metallica? I haven't listened to it yet.
Okay, I was going to say, did you listen to it yet? So I went to the premiere the night before it came out. They released it in theaters as a movie with interviews with the band for each track.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, it was a good concept to do. I think it was good marketing.
Do you think any drill musicians will ever do something like that?
Only if they have less than 400 followers.
I got you.
Yeah, I mean they do their own thing. You know?
Oh, they definitely do.
The first single, Lux Eterna, it's been on the radio since November. That's the best song on there in my opinion. Oh, wow. It's the thrashiest. I like the production in the album. I like it a little less than the last two albums because it sounds like it's getting it more into the 90s territory of little mixed hard rock with metal.
God, that shit was awful.
Yeah,
man.
I know you hate that specifically. God. I don't mind it.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me. I'm like, if you don't turn that shit off,
Fuel is one of the bigger.
If you don't give me some peace and quiet, why don't you give me some fucking peace and quiet?
So, and then the title track was the other one I really like from the album, 72 Seasons itself. But, yeah.
God damn, give me fuel, give me fire. You give
I
me
have to
peace
listen
and
to
give
it
me
a couple
quiet.
more times, yeah.
God damn, motherfuckers, man, shut the fuck up. You know, like, fucking enough is enough. Fuck. But I mean, look, man, from fucking Seek and Destroy to fucking
Black.
Justice for All.
Yeah.
That run is crazy. Black Album. Sometimes.
And you don't like Death Magnetic, right?
Death Magnetic is okay.
So that's after those, that's the next one. Yeah,
but it's too little, too late. Is the problem with Death Magnetic?
No, the Death Magnetic is when they went back to thrash.
But keep in mind, these dudes are how old?
Yeah, they're cresting 60.
Yeah,
so, but they weren't when they did Fuel Fire.
No, they weren't.
They weren't cresting then. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know you're a hardcore fan.
Yeah, I'm curious what you think of it when you.
I'll be listening to it.
Just hit me up as soon as he like the morning after. He said it's trash, and I said, well, and then I said what? I asked him what he hit me up on Facebook. He's like, and he never hits me up unless it's something random like that. So.
Because he's actually a huge Metallica fan.
Yeah, I know he's huge old school like you.
Correct, the good shit.
So, and I said, well, what's your base? What's the last album that you really like as an album? He said Black. I said, well, I wouldn't expect you to like this then. It's like, if you don't like the 90s stuff at all, then you're probably not going to like it.
Bro. That shit is bad.
Like, because the only stuff I really don't like from them was the Lulu album they did with, what's his name?
Is that where they wore the tights?
No.
It's not the Lululemon. Ricky.
Was it Fuel and Refuel?
It's a Load and Reload from 90s.
Both that shit, get it out of here.
Well, Lulu and Saint Anger are the ones that I don't really care for.
Oh, Saint Anger's awful also.
Saint Anger Saint Anger, I like some of the song structure they had on there, but the recording was so terrible, it destroyed the album.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, Some Kind of Monster, the documentary that came out, that was really good. It was like a breakdown of the band where they were going through therapy and
when
shit.
they all hate each other.
Yeah.
It
was a good documentary.
This was
that documentary, Some Kind of Monster.
Yo, I've been tuned out this whole conversation.
I'm sorry, Evan. Sorry, Evan.
I actually did watch it, but I was.
We should probably wrap the Metallica talk before we lose the audience here.
Yo, Chucky O was just spinning on this stool. It's got me fucked up.
Wait, Chucky, are you a Metallica fan? You're not. What kind of music do you listen to, Chucky?
Run the Jewels. Basically, Chucky O.
So my wife got me tickets to Run the Jewels and Rage Against the Machine.
Dude, yeah. So
it was like
dude, Chucky O. Let's face it,
so I was at that show.
Establishment.
I was at that show in DC. I waited through the pandemic to go to that show, and it was fantastic. It was one of the last ones De La Roca did before they took him off the circuit because of his leg. It was a fucking awesome show.
His leg ain't got to sing.
No, but he was sitting down when we saw him.
I'm fine with that.
Yo,
I'm 46. I don't need to see this motherfucker jump off a goddamn stack anymore.
But the guys had to carry him.
I paid $75. Get up out your seat for fuck's sake.
The other guys had to carry him off stage.
Pull up. They were listening to Pure Moods when they pulled up.
But I'm a huge Rage fan as well. So,
Brink, what have you been up to, man? How's the cystic lesions going?
The cystic lesions?
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting out.
Are you really?
Well, only because they started a new line, Cosmic Legions.
You found some ointment.
But
The face life, bro.
I want to correct. I might have misspoke before. I think I have been here for one of these anniversary episodes.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you have.
But here's the problem. Like a few years ago, I decided to forget the past, and I live only in the present now. So I live in the present.
Permission to come aboard.
But dude, I'm just realming. Having a good time.
Realman. How many podcasts are you on, Brink?
I've reduced recently.
You reduced? You cut back?
What shows did you back out of?
All of them.
Oh, let's get the tea. Let's get the realm tea.
Plastic Fanatics, unfortunately.
Man, that was 4 years ago.
We had a Tuesday night show on the Realm called Breaking the Mold.
Yeah. I remember that.
We decided to do other things instead.
Break it up a little bit. You gotta break it up. You gotta shake it up a little bit.
That's the nicest way. That's a great way to say that, Brian.
Yeah. But lately, I don't know about you guys, but it's been getting clear at night. You can go outside and you can see a lot of stars.
Outside.
Yeah.
Outside.
Wild.
I've been dealing with some.
See, that's old Joe talking. New Joe likes to go outside and take a little walk.
I've been dealing with some paranoia as of late, and I don't know if it's a result of being after 2 years of pandemic.
Is paranoia a certain strain?
Weather balloons or
weather balloons, maybe UFOs.
Oh wait,
I want to warn you, the spy balloon was just the beginning. Next, they're sending the Chinese Aryan ships.
You guys are gonna love that when you hear it on the playback.
just me on Chris.
No. I'm serious. The nights have been clear, and I've been looking at some of these stars, and I'm like, that's a fucking drone or a UFO, and it's out there at the same time every night.
Most of the stars are probably dead. They're not even there. It's just afterglow.
No, these stars. I swear, I see blinking red lights, blinking green lights.
Those are planes, bro.
No, they don't move.
That's what I tell my daughter.
Bro, every time I watch Nope, and I'm like, them clouds are fucked up now. The fucking them clouds.
I just want to let you know, I've recently disproved all this stuff. I had to download an app. Turns out, there's some really bright stars out there.
Hey,
Brink, you ever thought about doing drugs?
Off the mat,
stop.
Hey, you come on off the mats and talk about that with me. You can come on off the mats and talk to me about that, because we were trying to talk about some weird shit on there, so.
Yeah.
Dude, I started Googling, my county police. I'm like, do they got drones, in my development? What's going on?
Yeah.
I was like, dude.
Let's go. Come on. Be my guest.
Let's check in on Greg, see how he's doing. Greg, how you doing, man?
Nah, I'm just straight chilling.
First of all, only people that count their books right get to lean back in the chair, sit up right.
Well, because I was a winner, so I get to sit back and relax, eat this sandwich. Hey, what's happening?
What's new, man?
I'm good. Glad to be on 400.
Yeah.
Would this make my 5th episode with being on the joint?
I think so.
Let's just say it. Okay, let's just say it.
Sounds good.
Now look here. Let me pull out my motherfucking notes this time.
Might be your 6th one. If you're counting right.
And if you think I got notes, I'm a motherfucking lie because I'm looking at old pussy. That's how I was talking about that pussy head shit earlier. Now, I was thinking about this, Bobby. Now that since I'm still stay-at-home Greg, and I'm unemployed, I might have to help you out with your little venture, your little business venture, old folks.
See, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
let's talk about it.
Number one earner right there.
Yeah.
Number one earner.
Let's talk about it.
Keep my eyes closed. Hey, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my eyes closed and stick my tongue out like this.
And
don't let the Dalai Lama suck on it. Don't let the Dalai Lama suck on it.
Or I don't know. Is it a kind of blessing? I don't know. How does that work?
What do y'all think about that, real quick?
I don't want no part of whatever religion where I gotta let an old man suck my tongue.
The Dalai Lama giving you a little.
That's wild.
What if you get good luck for the rest of your life or some shit like that,
dude?
And I think I got enough luck. I'm good.
Do you think that was because of the Pope and shit? Do you think that's them trying to be white adjacent again?
Just trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Dude, I was it's the present, it's flat, it's foul, right? Keep that fucking, put your tongue back in your mouth for Christ's sake. But it
can't be no platonic tongue sucking, bro.
It's no. The answer to that is no.
It does not sound
you don't suck your homie's tongue good night, bro.
Hashtag. What that looks like on Bobby.
Hashtag normalized tongue sucking.
My thing is the optics of that shit, right? Because they do it like nothing's going on, and they have pictures of it. And my man, was on my man crouched down on some. You know, like have a go with that shit.
Dalai Lama.
You know, like what is going on
It's
out
just
there,
another cult,
dude?
man. It's just another fucking cult.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
The best was when the group like tried to cover it up and said, "Oh, he's just like doing a prank. That's his thing." It's like, really?
He's like, gotcha.
Yeah, I was like, really? That's a gotcha thing? Does he do this to every child he comes across, or what?
Ashton Kutcher popped out from behind him.
Yeah.
You've been punked.
Ew.
Grace said, yeah. All right, let's check in on Chris. Chris, are the baby moms still getting along fine?
Yes.
All right, good.
Getting along great, as far as I know.
How else was so? Chris is from West Virginia, and he came up in here with
sir.
a Mothman shirt that looks like the
Wonderful
Batman symbol,
West
and that shit is hard.
You like that?
Yeah. But I feel like you could only pull that off if you're from West Virginia. Like you got to have the home team advantage there.
Well, don't pigeonhole me into that. Well, I'll run out of monsters sooner or later, right?
I mean, like now and shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's some other monsters from there, but I saw the wild and wonderful whites of West Virginia. There's a couple monsters in that bitch.
You get a Whitaker. You get a Whitaker shirt.
Are you still talking about my ex-old ladies, right?
What's that chain you got around your neck, man? Talk to me about that chain you got on.
Oh, it's just a gold chain.
Yeah, no, it got a little ring on it. What's that?
It's just something I've worn since high school. I think I put it on originally thinking I would give it to a girl. Just never found the right one, I guess, right?
Chris, there's something.
They all reach for
It's
it.
a lure.
There's. Yo, that dude's laugh is the best.
Yeah. Oh, please.
That dude's laugh is the best. Look, there's something I got to talk to you about. I feel like now's the time to do it.
Oh, lay it on me, Bobby.
Hey, yo. So every time I've ever seen you, it could be 10 degrees outside. It could be 100 degrees at Skullfest last year.
Yep.
You've got a long sleeve T-shirt, a short
Strap
sleeve shirt, and like some like khaki type pants on, but like bigger like skater type pants, and a Scully.
Yeah.
Is that just your all year round?
Bog standard.
I'll tell you what, man.
I respect the uniform, bro.
I respect it.
The swamp ass.
I get you, bro.
The West Virginia swamp ass must just be overwhelming.
I respect it.
Well, I never had a skateboard either.
They don't sell those in West Virginia.
I respect it. Pat,
throw this back in the volcano somewhere.
You got anything? What's been going on with you recently, man?
Nothing much.
Nothing? Same old?
Same old. Just living the life.
All right.
Trying to, I was playing around with all the new AI stuff.
Yeah, man.
GPT and Dolly too.
They have that much.
Very interesting.
What have you been doing with it?
Well, we got internet about 3 years ago.
Nice. Come on.
Right after indoor plumbing. And so things are looking up. Things are looking up.
They ran the fiber with the pipes, right? It's all together.
All through the same pipe. All through the same pipe.
Kurt Cobain sing the national anthem and shit. What have you been doing?
No. Not that I'm aware of. We have to dig his ass up, right?
Yeah. Hey, R.I.P. All right. Well, if you got anything else, you got anything?
No.
All right. Well, let's pass it on to Night Train. Let's pass it on to Night Train. Let's pass it on to Night Train real quick. So, I want to. This is your first time here, so welcome.
Thank you.
So I see your shirt, and did you design this one as well?
No, this is actually from Red Band.
What about Andre from Outkast, Jada Corrupt, Nas, and
so he knows it. So it's an Eminem lyric, right?
Yep.
It goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie, Andre from Outkast, Jada Corrupt, Nas, and then me. So let me ask you this, because you brought it up. It wasn't me this time.
It wasn't his shirt brought it.
It wasn't me. Who is your top 5?
My top 5.
And let's do objective and subjective.
Okay, so
Answer. He's going to judge you harshly.
That's probably true.
My top 5. Dylon. Get that out your system. Get you out your system.
Dylon.
So people always ask you my top 5 question, and I hate to break it to you, but my top 5 alternates on my mood because there's so many.
No, but objective and subjective.
Okay, so
subjective alternates on my mood as well.
Right.
Objective is objective.
Objectively. No, I would have to say Rakim
is number 1.
I don't know if he's number 1. See, I haven't thought about my number 1.
He's not.
I don't think Rakim is the number 1. Rakim was here today. He was in DC.
Is he? He's great.
He's
He's in the conversation of top 25.
Jeez, there's so many. I don't know. Andre 3000.
That's somebody worth talking about.
I am a huge Slim Shady fan, so
okay.
Eminem.
He's my number
objective
2.
and subjective.
Okay.
Let me see.
So you got Rakim, Andre 3 Stacks, and Eminem.
Eminem. Okay, so
this is objective, right?
Yeah, this is objective. This is objective. I would have to say Notorious B.I.G.
Mm-hmm.
And let me think.
Dangerous. What about P.D. Pablo?
No.
Hey, take his sweatshirt. Take his sweatshirt.
I love P.D. He got some good songs.
I would have to say. I don't Big Daddy Kane. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, along that lines.
Okay. Now, I'll give you my objective.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 is Hove.
Okay.
Number 2 is M. Number 3 is Drake. Number 4 is Wayne.
Okay.
And number 5 is Missy Elliott. Is difficult.
Who's number 5?
I never heard that rapper. Is he a drill rapper? Difficult?
Yeah. So it depends on what day you ask me. I'm gonna go. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Ye right now for number 5.
Yeezy. Yeah,
that's objective.
Objective.
Of those, I'm only a fan of Ye and Hove.
I'm only a fan of Hove.
But I can't deny what those other 3 have done.
Yeah, I can't deny it. I can't deny it. Yeah.
All right, now subjective.
Now this is the fun one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm all over the place. So currently, I'm a huge fan of Pharoah Monch.
Okay.
Still a fan of Slim Shady.
Yep.
I am a huge Inspector Deck fan.
From Wu-Tang.
From the Wu-Tang. Shout out to Czarface. Him and Esoteric. I got so many vinyls of them.
Okay.
Wow.
Let me see. What was that? 3?
Chris said, "Wow."
I'd have to say,
"Wow."
And I'm a huge fan of Ghost. I'm a huge fan of the Funk Dr. Spock. Shout out to Redman. And the last one on the list is me because my bars is.
Hey, well, if you can't, if you can't vote for yourself, who the fuck can you vote for?
Yeah, exactly. I nominate me.
You can't beat him.
Yeah.
I just recently have been working on a list. So my number 1 also for subjective is Hove. My number 2 is gonna hurt feelings, but I can only be true to myself.
Be true to yourself.
Joe Budden is my number 2.
Pump
it up. Okay, that's fine.
Everybody goes to Pump It Up.
Okay,
because that's how everybody knows.
Not a fair representation.
That's his hit. I mean, you got bars, but that's his hit.
So my number 3 is DMX. My number 4. My number 4 is Beanie Siegel.
Really?
For me personally.
Really?
Beans. Wow.
Mac Daddy, Young Scrappy. And my number 5
Billy in the house.
And my number 5 is probably also Ye.
Probably Ye. Probably. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So this is your first time here.
Yes.
What are you into? What do you collect? What do you do? Give the folks a little bit of information about yourself.
Well, I guess he's asking, why the fuck do you listen to the show?
Because Bobby is real. And sometimes when I listen to
noise of me being real, guy.
Yeah, he's real.
He's a real pain in the ass on the podcast.
He's real. Because there's a lot of folks, there's a lot of people, I ain't going to say no names, but there's a lot of people that are like reviewing things and they're like, oh, if you like it, you like it. And I'm like...
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. No. But but it's honest, and it's like, okay, is this going to hurt my pockets? It's like, I had to when I got Unicron, I had to what is it? Ask for forgiveness, not for permission. Is it? Yeah. So when I bought Unicron, I also bought my wife a trip to Cabo.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. So that helps soften the blow.
So you're married?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
How long you been married?
6 years. I've been married since the president was black.
Sound like you made a friend.
That's how I remember.
All right.
Yeah, I love music. I'm a hip hop head. I love music, and I'm a huge Transformer collector. But nothing compared to what I've seen in this room.
No.
I'll never try to keep up with this one.
No.
I mean, look.
Hey, listen. I'll shoot you straight. This is our Transformers. I basically stopped.
There's so much shit here that I threw away all my shit. I don't need my shit no more.
He literally threw away all
my shit. If that's just come over here.
Yeah, I just come over here and look at shit. Yeah. I'm like, Bobby, did you get so and so? Yeah, it's over there. I'm like, cool. I don't have to buy it now. I can look at it every week.
That's true.
I just have chugs. And detox to piss Bobby off.
Well, welcome.
I love it.
And if you'd like to be on the backfill list for Nerd Rage, you're welcome to.
I would love to. I would love to. Yeah, y'all remind me of my friends when we riff on each other.
Awesome, because it's I gotta tell you, this next month is gonna be a rough one. It's gonna be a rough one.
Gonna be rough.
Let's pass it to my friend KC right there.
Quit swiping left and get down.
Oh, I forgot his ass was. Get out of that damn floor. What?
Yeah, get his stool, man. Get his stool. I'll tell Laura.
I forgot. I didn't see him down there.
Oh, he's standing. Who said that? Right now?
Somebody get him a stool.
Who said that? Casey can't see him right now.
Y'all let him be.
What's been new with you, sir?
What's new with me is I'm about to fuck Chucky up. God damn it.
I got 20 on Chucky.
I was in a good mood. Then y'all said Greg was going to be the #1 earner for this granny business. And I've checked out after that. I didn't hear anything anybody else said. So
that's fair. Recently, I compared Casey to fucking Kid Icarus because Icarus flew too close to the sun and burned his wings. And
like betting a 6 when you got a 5.
See, here's
hit a 6.
That's called coming up short.
We locked it up.
We knew we had 5.
We locked it up.
But we said, all right, since y'all asses can't count, we'll go ahead and match y'all, son.
Dante. So the other day, for those that are on Patreon, they know for the Kitchen Table Pod, Casey was coming up to do the May episode, right? And with my buddy Dutch, and I said, hey, I gotta push this. We were supposed to do it at 6. That's our usual time. And I was like, hey, I gotta push it back to 8. And Dutch was like, cool. And Casey's like, cool. And I was like, because my daughter's got a who's thumping around there? Is that you?
It might be me.
I was getting ready to give you some love, and you're down here thumping. You're down here like Bambi's best friend. But I'm trying to tell like, hey, I got to push it back because my daughter's got a softball game at practice at 6. And he's like, all right. How would you feel if I just came to the softball, participated in softball practice, and then we did the show? And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. And then we're up there, and he's watching Selena swing and shit, and he's like stepping in. He's like, hey, look, when you're doing this, you're lifting your shoulder and all this shit. And I'm not. I'm trying to pretend I'm a sports dad and shit now, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing out there. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be like, I'm like, hey, you fucked up, or hey, go team. You know what I mean? But I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
No. Thank you. Yeah. But the problem is he's getting close to the sun. And then at a certain point, I'm gonna start expecting shit out of him. And then
Bobby don't understand. Like when white people get close to the sun, it's a problem. You know what
I mean? Let who cook?
Hey, whatever the inverse is, go with that.
What'd you say?
All right.
There it is.
Ricky. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Everybody that was asking me about the pod, I'm not doing it, bro.
No.
Yeah, only because I told Bobby already, so he's hip. I recorded the whole episode, and I got an intro song, and I did it before the last pay-per-view with Adesanya, and then I listened to it, and I was like, this fucking sucks. I was like, I'm not gonna let people listen to this.
Hey,
so
I know somebody who does a mixed martial arts podcast.
Yeah. So that's the move. I think I told him I'm down.
I told you, first off, don't even worry about that first episode, and then second, we'll get together. We'll work on something. I'll get you on Off the Mask, and then we'll go from there.
Wait, what's a martial artist?
Dude, there's so many in here, man.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
I have a black belt in Taekwondo. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, I got a black belt on right now. What you want? I'm a martial artist.
You know this girl named Darlene used to live in Stevens Falls?
Okay. Bobby the Roundhouse.
I kicked that bitch right in the head.
True story.
And last thing before I hand it off to Ricky, like I know it's all jokes and laughs and everything. I appreciate everybody here, but especially the three y'all Chris, I love it when you absentee. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest with you. I got a big May coming up, so there's some holes to fill.
Yeah, May's gonna be rough.
I'm not here for like most of it.
Yeah. But I also love it when y'all are here because I swear to you, and I'm not just saying this. Like I'll hit the road. I have an hour-long commute to and from work. And I'll drop in, and I'm like, what am I gonna listen to, man? What am I gonna? I listen. I try to find a sports one. I try to find history ones. I try to find murder ones, and the only one that's consistent is Nerve Rage that keeps my attention throughout the drive. So I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
Now he done kissing Bobby's ass.
I like that rhythm.
Nah.
You can't have my job, Casey. Calm down.
Not until but Ricky, look, you're getting ready. If I cuck you, we're gonna elevate to a different level of friendship.
Bro, as long as the paychecks get better, I don't care.
Hey,
let me tell you something,
go
bro.
up from here.
You guys are getting paid?
Y'all motherfuckers getting paid?
I've been on the show for a long time, and I ain't got.
Ricky,
What
how have
up?
you been?
I've been good, man.
Ricky, why in the fuck did you fly up in here for this bullshit?
You're coming right back like in 2 weeks.
You can get tacos down there. You know that, right?
I mean, true that, but I can't get the famous homemade from scratch tacos.
Well, they not all that famous.
That's pretty fucking good, bro. You just
they
don't
were
like
good.
that
No,
shit.
they were good. They were good.
You don't like the enchiladas.
Those 2 cakes were fucking awesome.
Whoa! What the fuck? I wasn't on anybody's microphone when y'all was talking about cakes, man. Y'all calm the fuck down.
But
man.
you've been chiming in every 30
I
seconds.
want to talk about cakes, Phil. That Trace Leches was fire as shit. That's all I gotta say.
All 3 of them Leches.
Yeah, all 3 of them. Like you gotta go back 3 times, Chris.
Yeah, for those that are listening, like we had like for the Nerve Rage crew, we had like a meal for everybody to try to give back because I do appreciate folks coming out, spending their time, and on top of that, Chris brought a fucking whole 5th or something, and we've been taking shots.
That shit is
of
good.
that,
Angels
is fucking good.
Envy, yeah.
You know,
have a shot before I leave.
Fuck yeah.
What's been new in your nerd world there, Ricky?
Well, man, I mean, like you kind of got me in through the door, like hanging out and talking to folks, introduced me to some folks. Casey making fat jokes, I
think it's a door joke, but it's
sure, whatever helps him.
It's adorable.
But you got me in, introduced me to people here, and I got in with the Rome folks. Rome.
Yeah.
You combed your hair.
Hey,
It looks good.
sit down with them Crocs on your feet. Don't worry about my hair.
You know what's funny is I'm
from Florida and I don't wear fucking Crocs.
I had a joke lined up about them Crocs, but I let it go.
I pointed them out 3 times, and I'm from Florida, and never.
For those that are listening, like we had a Nerve Rage business chat, but Ricky kept blowing it up with some bullshit. So I was like, Ricky,
That used to be Phil's job.
I was like, Ricky, if you want to, actually, he hit me up and he was like, hey, if I started a new chat, it just added everybody to it. Could I just do some bullshit there? And I was like, yes. But just make sure that they know that they can fucking leave and you don't have to be bothered with that shit.
Hey, and I literally did like your boy was talking about. I was like, better to ask forgiveness and permission. I was like, I'm just gonna put everybody in. If they don't want to be there, they can fucking leave.
That is what you did.
I did it.
And that shit is called the Ricky Chatty Patty chat.
That's exactly what it is.
I did a So You Like Horror chat and put Ricky in there, and Sarah had to leave.
So look,
I'm out.
He went to put me in, and I said,
That
Bobby
funky
just
chopper
kicked me out of
sound.
one group. Are you sure you want me in this group message?
And as soon as it started, Sarah was like, I'm out. I'm done. I was like, yo, just chill.
You got it.
You can mute it. Just check it once a day.
That's it. Just doing that stuff, doing stuff with you guys.
Shoki, you got to
doing the podcast with Shoki. Now you made it awkward.
Plug it.
It's been a couple weeks. We've had like a tumultuous trying to get everybody together and stuff. But
scheduling's a bitch.
It's rough. It ain't easy.
Well, hopefully we'll do it next week. That's been fun to do that. For some reason, people think I like to talk a lot. I don't get it. But it's been cool, man. And,
well, good.
Before we move along, let me get my feels for a second. I appreciate you, Bobby, for introducing me to this and getting me in with all these people because I sit at home and don't do shit. You wanna know why I'm willing to come up here for a night? It's because I sit at home and don't do shit.
Well, I appreciate you for making the trek.
And then my wife said, "Get the fuck out of the house. You talk too much." So I was gone. Like,
it all tracks. It all tracks.
Tell her I asked about her.
I will. Hey, I already texted her. She said she'll be calling back in a minute.
All right, but
don't worry about it.
Hey, that's one group chat I'd be interested in.
we gonna chat a lot.
Here's my thing: is I was gonna get ready to get into a Super Mario Brothers conversation, but apparently now's not the time for that bullshit.
I play Mario today.
Oh, did you?
Hey, let's go. over here. We got to do this. We got to do that.
So here's the thing that came up during the break, and
glasses.
Ezra Miller, right? And I do want to get to this.
Yeah.
Evan.
Go ahead.
Evan Miller. I feel like
Don't let me in there.
Oh, dude.
Don't let me in there.
I feel like
Evan Michael, Black Steel if you nasty.
I feel like you think. All right, tell me what you think about Ezra Miller in comparison to Jonathan Majors, because I feel like you have a point of view on this, and I'm ready to dig in as well.
Got you.
Let's go.
So first of all, I would have to say that I don't know all the facts involved in each case.
Yes,
and it would be.
I feel like the way that you're sitting is man spreading, and I don't appreciate it. It's very threatening.
It would be. Well, this thing here is threatening. I'll tell you that.
Hey, talk to him. I like that type of talk.
Hey, I know a weapon when I got it. The Ezra Miller stuff. He's what? According to media sources, he's been on a bit of a tear over the last couple of years.
Yeah, but yes, I agree. But it does depend on what outlet you're looking at. I'm not trying to make excuses for him. I think that he's fucking lost his mind. However, like you read one article and it's like, well, he was teaching children how to throw grenades, and then you read another article and they're like, he had water balloons that were painted like hand grenades, and he was teaching children how to fill them up with water. And I don't know what's up with him, but I know he's not on the up and up. Agreed. I know that he's off.
Agreed.
But I do think they've drugged that motherfucker through the mud. Correct. I do think that.
Sure. Sure.
Still talking about Ezra?
Ezra, yeah.
Continue.
So I feel like it all depends because
Now you were very heated about 30 seconds ago, and now you're being very PC. Now that you're on mic, you're being very PC, as opposed to
exactly.
You're about to blow the lid off less than a minute ago.
I feel like there are decent people on both sides of the argument.
Dude, I'm sensing this is a political speech for running for office.
Hey,
That's
so
what I'm
can
hearing.
I tell you, recently,
Bullshit.
right? My wife and I have these days where it's something new that we've been doing, where we get in the car, we take a trip, and we come back. And we unload some shit that we've been thinking about, right?
Yeah.
So to speak. And I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to touch him, but so he said, when we got into it, I was like I go into these fits, and as I get old, I'm starting to worry that I'm losing my mind a bit. But the older that I get, I'm going into these fits of hysteria, but also rants at the same time. And you know what I realized? I hate a motherfucker can see both sides of something. like, here's the thing. It's not that I hate that you can see both sides, right? I hate a motherfucker want to tell me he can see both sides. Fuck you, dickhead. Everybody can see both sides. Pick one. That's the hard part. That's the hard part. Everybody well,
we just had this conversation upstairs.
The thing about me, I can see both sides. Oh, can you? Aren't you something? Aren't you just fucking something?
No, Evan just told me he don't like motherfuckers that can do that shit, and I was like, I can do that shit.
Hey, hold on. You're over here feeding them answers.
I like the notes.
Because
the spades, and then it's over.
Just like notes.
Talking across the table shit.
It's over.
So we Casey and I literally just had this conversation, and I do dislike people not so much for being able to see both sides, but playing both sides.
So that's a whole different conversation.
Whole different thing. So when you see both sides, I think it's up to you as a mature adult to be able to understand and empathize with people with different perspectives and experiences. This Ezra Miller thing is completely different in my mind.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
I think that there's nothing wrong with seeing both sides. What I take issue with is a motherfucker want to tell me how special he is that he can. Me when it comes. Here's the thing about me. I can see both sides. Well, whoop-de-doo, motherfucker. I can see both sides too, but I got the balls to pick one.
So that I agree, and I see where you're coming from, and I can also see the other side of where I'm just
that funky chopper
so,
sound.
That being said, I think it's helped me a lot to be able to slow down.
Is this a fucking job interview?
And be able to understand both sides.
You gotta answer. Listen, if there's two questions, you gotta answer them the same way.
Is this how we're getting it on banging on the old?
Because here's the thing. Let's
don't be contradicting yourself out there.
Let's tie it back. Let's tie it back to Ezra Miller, right?
Yeah.
So
you tied Jonathan Majors in with it, so I wanted to get to that as well.
So here's the thing: is I have
innocent.
I think there's a large. Careful. I think there's a large portion of this that comes down to the media that you take in, right? So I have my Instagram feed is extremely well curated. I'm on record talking about it, right? It's fucking music, asses, and toys. You know, and
not in that order, huh?
Ass toys.
It might be in that order. And we're losing this shit. because when it comes to music, I like many types of music, right? Like I think that I have a pretty diverse palette, but hip hop is definitely something that is near and dear to my heart. Culturally, it's near and dear to my heart, and sonically, it's near and dear to my heart. And I have seen in my feed people saying, well, Ezra Miller, they're giving a pass, but Jonathan Majors, they're dragging through the mud. And I'm here to say no.
Yeah, I know.
They drug both through the fucking mud. So it's just the media that you're paying attention, not you, but that they are paying attention.
I agree with that. I don't think that was my original perspective. Was that there was a discrepancy in how he's being portrayed in me? No,
I'm good with
Ezra
that.
Miller got his ass chewed.
He got his ass chewed out.
Yeah, I remember. That's how I know about it.
Okay.
Well, there's also a thing too with the timing of it, because Ezra Miller shit happened back when
a bunch of shit happened.
Yeah, and now Jonathan Majors is the new shit that's going on. So now we're hearing a whole lot of that, and people are forgetting that Ezra Miller did get dragged.
I mean, this is how this conversation started. You said like they've forgotten about it, and we're like, I don't think they forgot about Ezra Miller's shit.
Yeah, and I was speaking in reference to like the trailer and the hype surrounding it until Phil did. Yeah, because there was so many
got hit right when something big was about to drop.
Yeah, and I think there was a positive response to the Flash trailer
because of Michael Keaton, not because of
correct. However, it's still starring Ezra Miller, so he's still going to benefit from this hype. And not saying people forgot about it in the sense that he's been forgiven. Those are two things that can be true at the same time. They might have forgotten about it, but he might still not be forgiven.
Hey, I just need a Flash movie. That's it. And you forget about that motherfucker
so that movie
afterwards.
is still going to be successful.
And he's going to wander off into obscurity after that.
So
there we go.
It's called the Chocolate Factory Effect.
There was
wait. Wait.
It's called the Chocolate Factory Effect. It's like, you know what you do. Yeah. It was as soon as what is it? R. Kelly.
It's a remix.
R. Kelly went on and did his song
about pissing.
And his album came out at right around one of many scandals. And everybody just went, oh man, this album's so hot. Step to the left, step to the right, and they were just slowly forgetting. Yeah. That's what the Flash trailer is. It's like okay. Well, we're gonna you know what? We're gonna
is that ultimately a because that does raise the question, right, of like content over the the art from the artist, so to speak. Like, because like here's the thing, I don't give a fuck about them. And when I say them, Joe, I mean Ezra Miller. I don't give a fuck about Ezra Miller. Close. I don't give a fuck about.
I had to hear it out.
Them.
It was the most solemn. Hey, let him cook real quick.
But like, it doesn't matter to me. But what does matter to me is how the DC universe shapes out. And it's the same thing with Majors, right? Like, I think that he's done a great job as Kang. I'm in for him as Kang, so to speak. However, I don't give a fuck about him. Right. What I do care about is the next 3 years of Marvel movies. That's what I care. content.
Bobby, you don't care about them.
Wait. One thing. If it makes you feel better, and I always think about this, it's not just the actor. It's the writers. It's the director.
For sure.
It's the visual effects staff. So it's a lot of other components that help. Like, it's not just him.
Of course, but I mean, in terms of like the beating a bitch up shit.
Okay, that's different.
So when the Flash trailer dropped, everybody, there were tons of people like, yo, it looks good. And I just kept seeing comments talk about, well, I'm not going to see it because Ezra Miller's in it. And then someone stepped up, was like, yeah, but Michael Keaton's in it.
Ben Affleck's in it.
Ben Affleck's
Don't forget about him.
And
looks great in it.
Yeah,
oh my
they're
God.
talking about all the other shit that's going on, all the other people that were involved in making that movie happen. Ezra Miller didn't make that movie.
No, not at all.
He just showed up to work.
Yeah,
he might be the weakest link in it.
probably the weakest
And not
link.
only is he the weakest link, but he's in it twice, which really sucks.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's a good point.
I mean, I'll be honest with you,
He's Ezra 2 times.
What has Ezra Bridger done past
Ezra Bridger?
Well, hold
He's
on.
talking about the dude from Rebels.
Oh, I'm fucked up. Because I'll tell you right now, because that's the Ezra that I care about. That's the Ezra that I care about. Ezra, what's his name?
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller.
How much did you drink, bro?
A lot. But what the fuck else has he ever done outside of being the Flash?
He did the Harry Potter shit.
Who anybody in here care about Harry Potter?
Hold on.
I know. Y'all like Harry Potter? Y'all some hoes. Y'all put some wands where they belong. We'll take them to get them wands. We'll take them. We got the program laid out for the nursing home. Bibbity boppity boo. We're ready to go.
When Guardian Leviosa my ass, then
bubbles and shit, blowing bubbles and shit up in this bitch.
But
I mean, they all signed the fucking likenesses right nowadays with contracts anyway. We don't need their faces.
That's right.
We don't need them. We just use the faces.
Hey, I'm just gonna say it. I always say it. Profit of the faceless.
There it is. Everybody drinks.
It's just fucking.
How many times is Chris going to say this in an episode?
That's I know. I try to say it once.
But like literally, they did right for the toys and everything. They signed the faces away.
Yeah, we're gonna
You
get
don't need
shitty
them as
toys
actors.
of
You hire
him for the
somebody
rest of
else
our
and
lives.
fucking AI the faces on. It'll be fine.
That's right. That's right.
There's a movie that Ezra Miller was in that I saw years ago called We Gotta Talk About Kevin. It was a fucking weird ass.
I remember that. That's a really uncomfortable movie.
Wasn't Kevin?
Yeah, when I watched that shit, I was like, this dude's a problem.
Wasn't Kevin Spacey in that movie?
And it turned out to be true.
Phil, how are your feet, man? For real.
That was a hard left.
They're good.
They're pretty good. I mean, they'll never be perfect, Bobby.
No, of course not.
Phil, 1 to 10, where your feet at?
Today they're at
Where the feet
they're at 8. They're at 8 out of 10, probably.
At a feet out of 10. Yeah.
That's a B, right?
It's a big feat to say
Give me
that.
letter grades. I need fucking letter grades.
So let's talk about the Mario Brother movie. Who in here has seen it? Oh,
I think we almost got 50%. Right?
All right. So
to.
Chucky O, out of 10, what do you give it?
Probably a 9.
Okay, Evan.
I'd have to say I give it a 9.5.
Damn, I love when you big up for Italians, man. I gotta be honest, man. Like it does make me.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over here.
Just shy of
We got to go do this and we got to do that.
So, wasn't no Black Panther, but it did. It did.
How would you compare it against Latin Panther?
Oh shit! It was right there. It would have been a 10 had it had Dwayne Rock Johnson in it, but
My man.
You're welcome.
All right, Night Train. Did you see it?
No, I did not see it.
Ricky, what do you give it?
I give it an 8. I give it a 9 if it didn't have that Tenacious D singing shit.
That's fair. Who else? Who else?
Peaches.
Dante out of 10. What do you give it?
8.5.
8.5.
I'm a 9. You know
I'm a 9 also. Anybody else see it? Okay. So what do you got? It's right here. You want some? Hey, if you get some of my box, I get some of yours. That's how it goes. There's other boxes upstairs too. You ain't got to just take just mine and shit. So and some of this I'm stealing from $3.99 because it doesn't exist anymore. So I thought it was
such a good episode.
It was good. It was fucking. It was long too.
You guys, it might have been the best episode we ever recorded.
It was like 3 hours.
Hey, that's false.
It was like 3.5.
It was like 3.5 hours.
It's 3.5 hours.
Got him! Got it.
So here's
what is that?
That's the whole thing. So here's the thing: is I'm gonna go last because there's something about me. We had this last.
We know.
Wait, on the 399 episode, this came up where I gave this motherfucking film a 9 out of 10. Evan.
That's unheard of.
That's big for you.
It's so
that's like a 12
That is
out of 10
crazy.
from a skull face.
Yeah.
point of view.
and I want to be on
What's the
record.
last thing you gave to a 9 that was a cinema release?
I can't tell you, but I gave Tetris
Super
a
Pets.
10.
Super Pets was up there.
Super Pets.
I gave Tetris on Apple TV a 10 out of 10.
Tetris?
Wow.
Better
Yeah.
than Super Pets?
I heard Tetris.
Say it.
Was Tetris better than Super Pets?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Episode 9. You gave episode 9. Like
Did you give episode 9? What'd you?
No.
Episode 8. What's your episode 8 score? Star Wars episode 8.
It's probably 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Wow.
So
you see a 9. It's
High praise.
strong, man.
That's
It's
high
strong.
praise.
so
For a fucking Mario movie.
So I'm gonna wait and go to last. So I'm gonna pass it around again and see what everybody had an issue with before me. Chucky O, why didn't you give it a perfect score? I want to know only the reasons why you didn't give it a perfect score.
No spoilers.
It just made me realize they did not make it for me, who I am as an adult. They made it for that 8-9-year-old, and I'm okay with that. But it does feel like a little bit of my nostalgia was given away to a next generation.
Wow, that's deep.
Like that.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, like
That's kind of how I feel about the MCU.
yeah, that's fair.
Come out here with your fancy answers, man.
Yeah, no, that's a smart motherfucker, man.
When he speaks.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I feel dumb as fuck right now.
Evan, why didn't you give it a 10?
What's up?
Why didn't you give it a 10? You gave it a 9.5. You said 9.5.
9.5.
Yeah.
There you go. I saw
He told you.
a distinct lack of representation. in that and I wasn't happy about
Did you
it.
think?
Hold on.
I got it.
And I got one too.
Did you think Bowser was black? Is that what it was?
No, he wasn't
not.
a bit. Why?
No.
Why? Because he's a villain?
Hey, he's good. He's good at that shit.
bro.
He's good at that shit.
I'm just saying.
So
I get you.
So
I feel you.
here's a question, right?
I earned that.
So look.
Don't let him win.
If we take race out of a character,
Easy
right?
for you to do.
No, here we go.
Let's go over here. We got
Shout out to King Cody.
So if we take that out and we just say culture, right?
Yeah.
So jazz and blaster. Oh, yeah. Right? I'm building. I'm cooking something here.
I got you.
Jazz and blaster. We know they're just robots from outer space. But if we had to assign a cultural identity to them,
Got you. MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice.
which one's
Jazz
Vanilla
is
Ice?
MC Hammer, Blaster's Vanilla Ice because.
That's not fair, man.
Nah, come on, man. Hey.
That's not fair. That's not fair to
come on.
Blaster. That's
Come
not fair to
on.
Blaster.
Yes.
You're not. You're.
Basically, Blaster is Jazz Face.
So look, the reason why I say this, right? If you were going to assign, and I don't believe in race in that way, but if we're going to assign cultural identity to a character within the Mario Brothers universe, right? Who's the black guy?
Toad.
That's fucked up. Hey,
Ricky said Toad.
Hey, you need to go on back to Florida.
I walked out. But who?
To be fair,
Because I know the answer.
to be fair,
I know the
there's
answer.
one Toad in particular, a purple one, and their name in the Mario universe is something like I'm not bullshitting you.
Quante.
There you go. And it's something like that. It's something like that. But if you do your Mario lore research, there is one Toad in Toad Village.
He wants you to
that
do
is
your
like a
Mario
deity.
mathematics.
I'm telling you.
You're digging deep, bro.
I'll look it up and I'll
So
find
it's
the
not
actual facts.
Toad. I know who it is.
If there's one
It's-
quote unquote black character in Mario, it was a city worker.
No, it's
It's the one that spits the eggs in Mario.
no. That's Birdo.
Come on.
No, it's
Burrow's a
Mauser.
transvestite.
It's who?
ain't it?
Mauser.
Mauser?
That's
It's
a deep
Mauser.
cut.
It's Mauser from Mario Brothers 2.
Sunglasses.
Oh, with the
he-
sunglasses.
And he was too cool, and he was like, "Hey, like,
So,
I'm just like."
do me a favor, name one more.
No, that's all I got.
But to be fair,
Shy guy with the mask on.
Shy, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Hey,
actually,
hey, that's our Black Panther.
Ricky, why
That's
you
the
say that? 'Cause
Italian
he's wearing
American
a-
Black Panther.
hey, I can dig it.
He's wearing a
But
hoodie?
To be fair, the reason I gave it a 9,
Florida, man, Florida.
10, I didn't really jive with Chris Pratt's depiction of Mario.
Really? What was your issue with Chris Pratt?
I forgot. I'll be honest with you. I was expecting it to be full on. Like I forgot it was Chris Pratt. Like he was so in the
So
character.
it wasn't necessarily a Chris Pratt issue. It's more
Okay.
when you grow up. To allude to what Chucky said, you're used to a certain voice style,
Oh, the one guy.
accent. Yeah,
The one fucking
the one
guy.
guy. So I think that is a difference
like
that
Captain
you
Lou
kind of have to adjust
Albano.
to.
Is that what you're talking about?
Is that?
Oh, you mean like
is it-
Alan becoming John
Is it
Goodman?
because he's white?
No. He's saying the depiction. But like here's the problem. Like, give me your headphones for just a second.
Oh boy.
You got to hit him with it.
Hey, let's go over here. Hey, let's go over here. We're going to go do this and we're going to do that.
It would be too much if it was the whole movie.
Yeah.
Agree. I can understand
They
it,
could
but
use the same guy
you
Tony
still
Gale,
kind
bro.
of are used to a certain sound or character.
Correct. But
So
90 minutes.
to be fair, I got what I paid for. I enjoyed the movie thoroughly. So did my kids and my family. So
Same.
I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
really say too many downs about it. But a perfect 10 is reaching
Agreed.
as far as movies go.
Agreed. Agreed.
Now say that whole thing in an Italian accent.
Hey, you ain't gonna catch me up on tape imitating nobody's accent.
Smart man.
I respect it.
And like you see, I thought about it, but say, "Oh yeah, ain't gonna get my ass."
He was like, should I hit him with what I hit in my family behind closed doors when I make fun of Italian people? Ricky, let's hear. Why didn't you give it a 10?
Well, I already said the one was the Jack Black singing.
Yeah.
Song. Very, very Tenacious D, and I'm a Tenacious D guy. I can handle that.
You're okay with it, but the song was too much.
Don't hate. Yeah, it was all right, and you beat me to it. I was gonna call it out, but he didn't sound like Cody, and I'm not cool with that, man. I needed Cody in my
Hey,
movie.
let's go over here. We're going to go do this
I love
and we're
you,
going to do
Cody.
that.
He's gonna revoice the whole movie for us.
All right, who else didn't give it a 10? I know. I would let him. I would let him.
Yes,
I would record.
you would record him, and
I would
just
I would go
edit
through
it
it
in.
painstakingly and edit Cody.
He's
doing-
gonna be here in 3 weeks.
But the movie won't be out by then.
But I do have to shout out one of my favorite.
we got the hookup.
Transcripts.
One of my favorite things was them using the old TV show's theme song.
Yeah, it was
The
great.
rap. Yeah.
that rap. That shit was
Mario
awesome,
rap?
dude. Like,
Who else saw it and didn't give it a 10?
I guess it's just me then.
Dante.
Did you see it?
That's all.
What'd you say?
So why didn't you give it a
I give
10?
it 8.5. A big part for me was I enjoyed the fuck out of it, but I feel like at some points, like when they were showing him, I liked the ideal when he was learning the levels. Feel like it kind of dragged a little bit. There were like little things like that. There were points that just dragged where I just felt like, okay, we can fucking move the movie along.
Pacing.
Yeah,
It was an hour and a half movie.
yeah. Like I'm not built for an hour and a half. Like I'm more of a like.
That's a short movie nowadays. Like it used to be normal length. Now it's short.
Yo, Dante will come up with anything. He'd be like, "Nah, that's not gonna work for me. I'm not built for like makeup and sound effects and shit."
No, it just felt like there are things that was like, okay, you can fucking skip past this. Let's fucking just get to the fucking point of the movie. And then even when it ended, it was just like, all right, like we got here, and I just felt like that's it.
So I'm gonna jump in there and I'm gonna support you a little bit because you and I both know how to count our books, and that's important. and I want to say that like here's my issue with it. 9 out of 10. I give it a 9 out of 10. There's a lot of motivations for why the characters are doing what they're doing that are paper fucking thin, and it's fine. It's because it's good fun, but if you were to just look at it for 2 seconds and be like, does this make any fucking sense? The answer is no. And like, it's one of the things for me is like just when they find the warp zone it's just like they go into this place and they just happen to find this one magical pipe, which my wife will tell you is possible. but like, you know, I just happen to tell you, but like, it's possible, right? A needle in a haystack. It's possible. But then, like, they just happen to go into the Mushroom Kingdom. And then once they're in the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario is like a plumber from Brooklyn, like, meets this princess of, like, this whole Mushroom Kingdom. And he's like, hey, my brother's in trouble. I need you to save him. And the princess is like, you know what? That all checks out. I'm with it. I'm with the shits. Let's just do it. Like, okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that because we're trying to get to the shit. I get it.
So in the movie,
but it doesn't make any fucking sense. And I'm just acknowledging it. and then saying, okay, but I understand it's a children's movie and I'm still giving it a 9 out of 10, but none of that shit makes any fucking sense.
Makes perfect good sense.
I've been drinking, so I might have misheard you.
Hey, look,
Mario teams up with Princess to chase Luigi.
Yes.
To find Luigi.
Find Luigi.
See, that changes the whole premise. The whole thing's about chasing pussy.
So
you've already said
you're not wrong, and I'm glad you brought that up because
you never get it though. You never get it. You think you got it, but you don't got it.
Because I do want to.
You have already said enough. It was because he laid the magical pipe, and that's why he went to help the princess.
So I do want to bring this up because like I've seen this just like everything else in our fucking climate right now get politicized, right? And there's like the people on the left saying fuck no so the people on the right are saying that the princess is powerful and she's not a damsel in distress and doesn't need rescuing, so that's the issue with the right. And then the people on the left are saying something else. I'm forgetting it now. I had it last on 399. I had it.
It was a great episode. The best episode we ever done.
But the truth is that none of that matters. The truth is that the princess is in games being an active participant in the fight. Like Mario Brothers 2,
I
you
play
can play
Mario 2 today. She's floating all over that motherfucker.
100%. And like that's great. And at the end of the movie, with no spoilers, because I'm not gonna tell you how it turns out, but at the end of the movie,
you play the Mario game,
it's not about rescuing Luigi. It's about Mario and Luigi trying to save the day, and that is the essence of that game. And it still pays forward. So like, I think the political shit that they tried with this shit, get it the fuck out of here.
I mean, the game's paper thin. Sorry, Mario, your princess is another castle. Well, motherfucker, I guess I'm going to go to another castle.
Of course it is, but you can at least give it a little... Like even if the princess was like, wait, what? You did what? It's like, no, I'm from this other realm. It's called Earth. I'm from Brooklyn. It's like, well, wait, fuck. I might be from that because I haven't seen anything. And like, just something to explain. Yeah. But she's just like
the first Mario movie. Yes, it's great.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I want to say the same thing.
Yeah. What's up? He loves it.
It's kind of like when who was that comedian? Dana Carvey?
That's a comedian.
Yeah, when he was like, they said they framed OJ, which makes sense, right? Because everybody goes around and says like, "Hey, I'm framing OJ. You in?" Well, wait, dude. Like, I really love the Naked Gun movies, and he's like a hell of an athlete, but fuck it, let's frame him. You know, it's the same thing. It's like, yes, it is paper thin, but it's like if we
did you just tie OJ to the Mario Brothers movie?
Well, yes, because it's the same. It's the same. Yeah, that's the nerd rage because like
they both have gloves.
It's the same.
But one of them fit, one of the other one did not.
He got that one off. He got that one off. I'm making sure of that. But like it is the same sort of thought process where it's like, just because something is thin in a video game doesn't mean that you can't give it a like it's just like a fire, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Like the cartoons, they got that fucking thing, the two sticks in the little. Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. And then you like just fan that motherfucker a little bit. You can make something out of it. It is there. It doesn't need to be too much. Just give me a little something. And like I said, not enough to make me enjoy it. I loved it. Thought it was 9 out of 10.
I can't wait for the next one, man. I'm excited.
Me too.
I'm excited for what they did.
Which brings me to my next thing.
Can't wait to Double Dragon.
Better than Super Pets?
Dude,
there's already a Double Dragon.
It is better than Super Pets. It is better than Super Pets, but Super Pets is still great. But like, my issue is a preemptive issue. I want the second one to not be about Yoshi. I want the second one to be about Wart.
Mario.
Yeah.
And fucking Birdo
and Mauser.
And fucking Mauser.
I'm expecting a lot from this second album.
I want it to be Super Mario Brothers 2.
I got
earmuffs.
You know, I think that's.
I played the second one.
And I think that's fair. Like.
Well, it depends on the demographics, though, right? Because Mario Brothers 2 is not like in the public consciousness as much as like Mario World.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I played.
Yoshi's more popular than Mauser by far.
But is he more popular than Shy Guy?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of chicks that cosplay Shy Guys naked, and that makes it real popular.
Wow. That's what I'm saying.
That's who I play with.
Nobody cosplay Bowser naked.
Mario
That's
Kart,
what I'm
saying.
A Shy Guy. Shy Guys from Mario Bros. 2.
They need to start.
I'm a Shy Guy.
95% already announced. But the stinger at the end has Yoshi, so it's for sure.
Hey, Yoshi and Wario are much more popular than fucking Mauser ever is.
Yes, no, this isn't a Mauser issue.
Yeah.
This is
But, like,
just
the people
Mario
you
Brothers
want in
2
it
as a whole.
are like for people our age.
I know that Mauser's an underdog that I'm rooting for.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not injecting him into the public consciousness. I am saying that Super Mario Brothers 2 between actually I think Birdo, who's become kind of a classic character, he's getting a Jack specific toy and shit.
They added Birdo to Mario Kart as a playable character.
Birdo's now in Mario Kart.
That's how you know who got to be in the movie. So who's in Mario Kart? And Mario Party, Mario Kart is where it's at.
Exactly. And then the fact that Princess is a warrior and not the damsel in distress, that comes from Mario Brothers 2. Even the fucking little they're fucking doing a little bit of this, Joe. They're walking around, they got a couple of little spikes on them.
The cactus?
Like a little cactus. That's from Mario Brothers 2.
Called, yeah.
That's from Mario Brothers 2.
Which I also feel is like that that
pass the mic around. Pass the mic around.
What's that? You know that thing with the car? You know the thing at the car dealerships?
Oh, wacky inflatable flailing arm tube, man.
Yeah, maybe.
Just like in Nope. Fuck that movie.
Was Super Mario Brothers? Did they have all those, or was it Mario Brothers?
Super Mario Bros. Was the game we all played. Mario Brothers is like a Donkey Kong kind of game.
Yes, Super Mario Brothers had some of that stuff, but this movie had shit from Super Mario Brothers 3. It had shit from Super Mario World.
It had stuff from Smash Brothers. It had stuff from Mario Kart.
I think this,
It had shit from Odyssey.
From Odyssey, Galaxy. So it was a culmination. It was like they just took a bunch of fan service Mario aspects.
Yes, and I would like if they moved on to the next one to give the second game a little bit of love.
I think they're just going to use leftover characters and stuff that they didn't use in this one and just put it in.
But I know we all hate it, but I want to call back to like the jump boots or something from the Mario movie. I want them just to acknowledge it. Kind of like Deadpool talking about the Wolverine Origins movie. I want
man, hold that microphone, man. You're your own man.
I like the tag team match.
But here's the thing, I'm glad you brought that up because I did want to mention that we had talked about this on 399.
Best episode we ever recorded.
That there's this rumor that I've heard that I can't confirm that the original sales pitch to Nintendo was the movie that John Leguizamo was in. Where
that was the original pitch for the story.
For the story that they were dinosaurs that evolved into men. And,
science.
And then the movie was the reverse of the game didn't pay any attention to the original sales pitch, and now the movie didn't pay any attention to the original game, and it was full circle. And if that's true, I tip my hat to it. I don't think it's a good movie, but
fantastic movie.
I can appreciate the poeticness of it, Joe. As an artist.
Who was Koopa in that?
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper, yeah. Rest in peace.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he died.
Yeah,
I don't.
Did he die like shit?
I think people that are alive that are dead. I think people that are dead that are alive. I don't fucking know.
All right, so best movie with Dennis Hopper in it.
Speed.
No, the correct answer is the
Waterworld.
You know it's
Waterworld.
I win. It's
are we doing this?
The one he talks about with
we doing that True Romance.
True Romance.
True Romance. Okay.
And he had a small role.
Yeah, but
it was an impactful.
I'm sticking with Waterworld.
Hey, there's no such thing as small roles, only small actors, Dante.
That's the one where he's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, the best looking cigarette that's ever been captured on film.
Makes me want to smoke every time.
Dude, Mario and I, not for nothing, when we used to watch True Romance,
the guy, not the
yes, not the video game character,
specific.
My buddy Rio, Dante, our buddy Rio. When we used to watch True Romance, when Dennis Hopper would light up the cigarette, we would put cigarettes in our mouth and wait for him to light up, and we'd all light up at the same time, for his last cigarette.
The first time I recall watching that, it was when we had the house next to Oakland Mills.
Yeah.
We brought it over at the VCR in the living room. I was like, all right, cool. They're excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Turned it on. I was like,
me and my
to sleep. But then I ended up watching it a couple years later. I was like, oh shit, why the fuck I fall asleep to
that
this?
That motherfucking movie is a beast.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. My grandmother fell asleep at Star Wars.
That's the same.
Yeah.
Me and my friends had a similar thing with a cigarette, except it was for a Requiem for a Dream.
No kidding.
No.
Heroin?
That'd be fucked up.
That was heroin.
The double dong dildo scene. The double dong dildo scene.
Ass to ass.
Yeah, that's what we recreated every time.
All right, so
it's amazing what you do in a trailer park.
The next question is before we get on to questions. is how are we feeling about The Mandalorian? And I'd like to get the...
Is it over yet?
God damn.
Is it over now?
No.
There's one more episode. This is the penultimate episode.
they're not
It's just
done?
There's one more.
I'd
I'll watch it next week.
Once
I was
again,
done.
we had a great conversation
Yes, we
about
did.
it.
Episode
on
399, the best
399.
episode ever recorded.
We talk about music. We talk about everything.
We did.
Friendship.
If it's not recorded, it doesn't. It didn't happen.
It was recorded.
It was recorded. It's just corrupt.
Yeah,
It was too good for your ears, Ricky. It was too good for your ears.
So, who has a hot take on The Mandalorian and wants to chime in? That's not anybody.
He said trash.
Trash. All right.
We had that convo.
Pass it
I
around.
liked it.
Is that a
2
hot
and 3,
take?
off the rails.
I really am in. I'm only on episode 2 of season 3, but no. But it's not The Mandalorian. I'm suffering from Star Wars fatigue. So it's like I'm watching that, and I just finished Andor, and the storylines are jumping from this part in the timeline and that part in the timeline, and so my brain is going, okay, I need a minute to just calm down. But I am enjoying what I see so far.
All right.
Okay. Pass it around. Who else? Chris, you been watching it?
Yeah. I haven't seen any of the seasons because I'm letting it stack up. I watch like Joe does.
Okay.
I let everything stack up, and then I go through it all. But I feel that it's very much a dumbed down Star Wars. Like there's not a whole lot of thinking involved to it.
I agree.
But I do
Especially when you compare it to Endor, right?
and I don't mind the Creature of the Week episodes.
I like to say Freak of the Week because it rhymes, but go ahead.
Okay. There you go. Freak of the Week.
Like Shake and Bake.
But yeah.
Magic Man.
I would put it in the middle, though. I wouldn't put it anywhere near the top of the heap of Star Wars things. Yeah.
I mean, there's Star Wars Power Rangers, right? Mm-hmm. With all different colored Mandalorians fighting a different monster every week. That's fucking Power Rangers.
Solo was the best movie.
I thought this last episode was kind of tough. The big guy, the big Mandalorian guy with the big gun.
Spoilers.
Yeah, he was
Spoilers.
about that life. I
He
don't
was
know
about
his name.
that life. Paz Vizsla.
He's a Vizsla, so they always about that life.
He pissed on a lot of people.
He's your favorite character.
And the fact that he was holding that Gatling gun, you know what I'm saying? He gave people the switch up.
Yeah.
That's right, Casey. I said it right. You was looking, I saw he was waiting for me, but nah, it ain't gonna happen.
What about you, Brink? I'm actually most perhaps curious about your point of view on it.
Are you really?
I am because you were kind of into this. This was
dude
when the Mandalorian started.
There used to be a podcast.
This is
even there used to be a podcast.
What you thought you wanted.
Yeah. Bum 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 bum. I get excited when the theme plays.
Yeah, how you feeling?
I got excited at least when the theme plays for the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
This season, they're using this series as connective tissue to a place I don't want to go. I've erased it from my mind. So
somehow Palpatine returned.
So
the 2% of this show that ties to the sequels is enough to turn you off.
Well, not necessarily turn me off,
Okay.
but I like to find joy in things that typically would not really give me joy. And it's like I found it with Kenobi, with the connection with Leia and all that other stuff.
That show was also trash, but continue.
But this, it's just like, you know what? Just give me the episodic stuff, and I'll enjoy what you give me. And to be honest,
so defeated.
The joy,
it's like a Stockholm syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's how you used to be.
but it's like
I'll take it.
So here's the thing: it's like the more they delay the connection to the sequel trilogy, I'm fine with it. So take as long as you want, and I'll be okay with it.
Well, let me say one thing about that, because you got because that is the basis of Star Wars. It is connecting and putting, like, if you watch Clone Wars, if you watch all of the stuff, it is. Clone Wars was like I'm like a letter to the fans to say, hey, I'm sorry, the prequels weren't that great. And
Agreed.
They went and they fixed and repaired. They fixed a lot of it. And so what they're doing.
The problem is this is not.
No.
All of this current Star Wars TV is not fixing the problem.
True, but in the same vein, it's not fixing it. It's trying to do it. It's part of what Star Wars does.
I think it's trying to get to the place where it can. I think that's true. I think it's trying to get to a place where it can, and maybe it's Ahsoka. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's this Filoni movie. Maybe. I don't know. But like, I think they do have a goal of trying to right some of the wrongs, but I don't know. I don't know if they can do it. I don't know if Filoni can do it. I don't know if I believe in Filoni anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
I think I believe in Filoni in an animated series where he doesn't.
Filoni, more like baloney.
I was thinking.
Hey, you can say it after me. It's still counts. I was like, baloney.
Like, you know, and I said this. I said this last week, and I like, and when we recorded 399, the best episode we've ever done.
Oh, it's great.
Can't wait to hear it.
But this is how I feel about Star Wars, and I said it off the cuff at the moment. But Star Wars to me is like my twin sister. Like in many ways, it's my Leia.
But not your daughter. But not your daughter.
Not my daughter.
You didn't do the Dalai Lama thing with her, did you?
No, not at all. And wait, hold on.
I want to warn you, the spy balloon was just a beginning.
But like, we grew up together, right? When Star Wars was 1 year old, I hadn't been born. But when I had been born, it was 1 year old. Or 3 years old, but it doesn't matter. But we're very, our ages are very close, is what I'm trying to say. And like, you grow, you learn, you make mistakes, you fumble, you trip, you stumble, but you recover. Right? And you find meaning within the stumble. You find meaning within the issues. Like my father used to say, like, every path has its puddles. Right? So like you find meaning within the puddles, right? And then it got to a point where my sister and I are grown. Right? And she's been a pretty solid girl, man. She's done some doofy ass shit, but she's got herself together, right? And now she's just letting anybody run up in it. She's just a hootie patootie. People just fucking her.
She's a general.
Raw, leaving her like they're rolling out before she even grabbed a towel out the fucking bathroom. Like they're doing her nasty. You know, and then I gotta come in here week after week and try to defend my sister. And the truth is she's just become a whore.
Holy shit. 400, y'all. 400.
And it doesn't mean that I still love her. Because I do love her. But she's got to quit whoring it out.
Bobby, don't you gotta say
You know, and she's got to settle back the fuck down. You know, and be a lady. You know, you don't gotta let everybody have a piece of that shit. You know?
The other thing too, I just want to say, this Mandalorian series, it seems to have lost its original identity, which really kind of sucks.
Well, here's the problem, and I mentioned this.
I agree.
The whole. What were we trying to do the first two seasons? We're trying to get Baby Yoda to the Jedi.
Yep.
And you did that.
Yep.
And then in another fucking show that you never fucking mentioned, they basically retcon that.
Yep.
And now here we are, like.
Then they got to get Baby Yoda to Fraggle Rock flip into
exactly. And now they gave him a fucking mech suit. And my man.
Yes.
Actually, I do. I'm not anti Baby Yoda in the mech suit. I am anti Baby Yoda Fraggle flipping into Lizzo's arms.
Wait. He's in a suit.
So
that's after episode 3.
Yeah, you need to catch up. You remember Krang from Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
Just imagine that.
Imagine that, but it's IG.
I'm not doing this.
It's IG 11, but it's
I'm
IG
not
12.
doing this.
No.
IG 12.
No.
12.
It's IG 12, buddy.
I didn't know the show was still
Greg
running.
is
I thought it
212.
ended at 6.
I'm out.
No.
IG 12, man.
Who's getting the Hot Toys? IG 12 of the fucking Baby Yoda.
Negative.
It's coming out, right?
I want Cara Dune, man.
No,
I want Cara
I'm not doing
Dune.
this.
I want Cara Dune.
We got to do a third party for that. I think we should start the fun right now.
But it's just like, man, like Star Wars at this point for me, right? It has become unrecognizable. I don't recognize it anymore. And look, Kathleen Kennedy is going to leave, right? Because her contract is coming up. And as we've talked about on Nerd Rage 100 times, at this summer, her contract is coming up. She's probably going to leave. It doesn't matter. People are still making YouTube videos saying, she's finally fired. Fuck you, you idiots. You don't know what you're talking about.
She's been in it since, like, we were kids.
Of course. Like, she made fucking Goonies. She made fucking Jurassic Park. Like, kick fucking rocks.
So coming from somebody that's, like, neutral, like, I didn't grow up on Star Wars. I've seen them, but I'm not a nerd for that reason.
Yeah,
But that's important. My perspective is important because I watched Mando season 1 and then decided I don't give a fuck about 2 or 3. So I think that's even though I'm not as
I think that is important.
Yeah, like so somebody that cares about it is disinterested, and somebody that
is new
you had on the hook. Yeah, as a new person is also disinterested, and I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to tell you the reason for that. Maybe so because there's no way after season 1 you're going to convince me that something in season 2 is it's just going to be a continuation of season 1.
But there is one thing that she said that on her, if she's leaving in July, which I think she is, that I do once again on her way out, I'm like, I co-sign you here too, chick. It's time to make Star Wars feel like an event again.
Well, I think as long as you have TV for all these big properties,
it hasn't felt like an event in some time.
Make Star Wars great again?
Honestly,
Evan has to say that, not me.
I looked at KC when you said it. I'm like,
He can only say
that. No.
KC got that red hat on.
But the thing is, though,
mass walk.
No, I think since Disney Plus has come about with all these separate shows, the event aspects of all of this has kind of gone away because we're getting a show here, a show there, and then when a movie comes out, I don't know.
Well, we haven't had a movie since,
we haven't had a Star Wars movie.
Episode Tross. Huh? I'm calling it Tross from now on. So there's episode 1, there's episode 2, there's episode 3, there's episode 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in Tross.
Trash. You mispronounced trash.
That's my thing with it. I'm not even calling it episode 9 anymore. I'm calling it Tross.
Ray Skywalker.
So like they've all kind of touched on it and like beat around it. Is when we had the OG trilogy, we had that 83 was the last that came out.
Yep.
Then we went all the way forward to 99. So we had 16 years. What you lovingly refer to as the dark times, where there was nothing but the books in our imaginations.
And the Ewok movies.
Yeah, I mean that's not the dark times. The dark times is up until about 91 when there was literally nothing.
And then they brought the books in,
and then they brought the books. The Hasbro shit kicked off again. Like everything.
It's a 16-year gap between movie and movie.
Yes,
and now it's nonstop. You had a movie last year. You have a show this month. Next month's another show. The month after that's another. They don't give any time for us to enjoy Star Wars, to sit and think about it.
So I agree. I agree with you, but I feel like this is my only pushback from that. Episode 7 felt like an event. We all agree, right?
Yeah.
Then Rogue One felt like an event.
Because it was different, though.
Then 8 felt like an event. And then no, it did.
That's because we all went to the movies.
Wait, who said it didn't?
I did because you and I've had this conversation. 8 flopped for me.
No, I'm not talking about when you saw it. I'm talking about
it coming
building up to it.
Okay,
it felt like an event.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So like
that's because you was on the dark web.
That's one movie every year from Star Wars, and every single one felt like an event. Like so, it's possible to do it. They did learn that, and even Solo felt like an event. It wasn't until after Solo where it started feeling weird. And it was the culmination of things. It was the reaction to 8. It was a reaction to Solo. It was the reaction to where is Disney going here and the Mouse House indeed and all that kind of shit. And the thing is there is room for Star Wars to feel like an event, and I think that these next 3 movies that they've announced, right? There's one it's so funny because you and I solo on this fucking table, so to speak.
Yep.
I do this.
On the table.
We
missed that. Wizard of Pause.
There is something I want to say, and that is before we move on to questions. Is that if nothing else, both the Nerd Rage episode. Oh, you have something, Greg? Do you want? Yeah. Oh yeah. Pass the mic.
I mean, since y'all so bitter about Star Trek, how about Picard? Let's talk about Picard real quick. Let's brighten this up because y'all don't like Star Wars. Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Views shared by Mr. Skullface do not reflect the views of the entire panel.
Okay, good.
I love Star Wars, and maybe I put on blinders to the nonsense, but I every fucking Wednesday get up early on purpose, put on my headphones, get in front of my big screen, and watch that shit.
Yes. Hey, look.
I mean, let's make some noise for that.
I'm not talking about Star Trek. I'm talking about Star Wars.
Let's just brief.
Ain't nobody seen
this last season of Picard was pretty damn good. And it's not over
I've
yet.
not seen. I'll be honest with you. I watched like 4 episodes of the first season and could not get behind it, and just had. Then they put it on fucking. That's some nerdy shit, Greg.
Damn right.
No, and then they put it on Paramount, and I didn't have Paramount, so I'm like, fuck it, I ain't gonna watch it.
I got Paramount. You need my password?
I got it now.
Oh, all right.
But I was gonna say, Chris, you have everything.
If you need the password, I got you.
Listen, press that flex button. You know me, the king is streaming over here.
A word.
But for real, I mean, speak on it. If it's good, tell us about it.
I thought nostalgic wise, this third season, because they basically brought back everybody from Next Generation. Great.
Before we take another break, I got to ask Evan.
Oh no!
Pass the mic this way. How do you feel about representation of Lizzo and Star?
What do you say? He could have
Representation of Lizzo and Star Wars.
Who's she playing? Jabba?
No, give him the microphone.
Yo! You're wrong for that one.
But we got him. You leave that in.
So my take on where Star Wars is now. It's a little analogy here. You may not like it because it involves a beach, Bobby. But I look at Star Wars like I went to the beach. I kicked my sandals off. My feet are in the warm sand. I'm enjoying my day.
You kick your sandals off in Newmarket.
Yes, that too.
Oh, delete it.
I go home, right? I'm heading home. I put those sandals on, trying to relive that day. That sand in my sandal is not the same sand. It's wearing like blisters in my feet now.
Get a little touch of
So
that?
for me, Star Wars, like I'm not getting the same enjoyment out of it, and the trying to recapture that beach in my sandals is wearing holes in my feet, and it's just not.
That was deep.
It's
Chucky, I feel you.
Chucky,
It's
when are you writing your book?
Live in the moment, right?
Got it.
And, the nostalgia hurts for the new Star Wars out right now.
Oh!
We're gonna take another break before we get back to questions.
Okay.
So look, before we move on to questions, like this podcast shit, like is becoming successful in its own route, and I got a number of ways to do about it. And for those that are listening, like I had a guy that I was gonna do a one-on-one with, right?
Yikes.
So to speak. Oh God, these motherfuckers is killing me. I can't live out here.
The wonderful wizard.
Got him! Got him!
Another one-on-one at this table.
I had this dude, right? Like so to speak. He was involved in ices, right? Like same like you have like an icy pop or whatever.
Yeah, those machines.
Yeah, but like he had an independent brand, and like he was in everywhere in the East Coast, and Nestle like tried to lock him down and shit. And like I'm gonna have him out to like talk about his story because it's like pretty fascinating. But he was like, look, man, like they just let up. I need like another 6 months to get my foot in the door. And then once I got my foot in the door, I'll come out and tell all. But it's like, he was like, man, these motherfuckers like Nestle, Breyer, shit like that. Like he's like, these motherfuckers is the fucking Castellanos, the fucking Gambinos, like these motherfuckers.
Corporates, man.
Yeah, like they are not fucking around.
I was waiting for. I thought you was trying to drop a Chris dad joke.
Before we move into questions, Phil, how was Renfield?
So I saw it last night.
Oh, it's out?
Yeah, it came out.
Is it streaming?
Not immediately.
Oh,
I think it's exclusively in theaters. Yeah.
Come on, Joe. You know I let you on streaming.
It's out for the general public, Joe, not for
I'm not
people who
fucking
stay at
about
home.
that general public peasant bullshit.
Okay, for me, it's probably a 7 out of 10, roughly. Nick Cage steals it.
Of course.
His overacting is perfect. It's exactly what you would want. I mean, just based on what you see in the trailer,
Right tool for the right job,
extrapolate from that.
What do you give it out of 10?
7.
Okay.
Yeah. So entertaining. It's nothing Amazing. Nicholas Hoult is good as the main character as Renfield.
Was he better than that or in the Menu?
Obese or fucking.
He's better in the Menu.
Okay,
but to be fair, he has better. It's a better written story in Menu.
I would imagine so.
So yeah, it is very comedic. It's crazy. It does little references to like Bela Lugosi and also to Coppola. And
hey, listen, Bobby's going to start on questions, but going forward, I know episode 399, the best of all time. If you have questions at 401 or further, you can send those in to us.
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Christopher.
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
So I'm gonna send a couple that were without reason for response. So Shoki said, "Howdy, Wizards of Ragerly Place. After hearing about it, I jumped to watch the Blackberry movie trailer. I was converted to the cult of Blackberry when a friend mistakenly convinced received one of their house." I'm drunk as fuck.
Do you want me to read?
Try again.
Do you want me to read?
I was converted to the cult of Barry when a friend mistakenly received one of their house meant for the previous resident. That resident never came back to claim it, so I bought it off my friend. From there, I was hooked, having previously used a katana because Razor wasn't on Sprint. Hold on one second. Let's give it a flex. It was a big change, he says. My friends had early iPhones and Droids, but I proudly stood my ground until finally Sprint dropped service for the last generation of BlackBerry. I upgraded to the Droid because Apple sucks. Dude, I hate to hear peasants emailing me, bro. Like, I really
got that out.
Hey, let me get a Droid in the air. Who got Droid?
I mean, I got a Droid.
Look at this, man.
You might put it in the air, so
you might be overwhelmed here.
Hey, look what else in the air, Casey.
There's a few in here. All of them try to call me on a WhatsApp.
What the fuck?
It's painful. But I will always remember my time with the last true keyboard GED phone because it's graduated but wouldn't call it smartphone. Also, it's mounted on my wall forever. So he put he framed his BlackBerry. That's fantastic.
Relax, loser.
I did that with my Nokia 7210. It still flashes every once in a while. It goes.
It'll never die.
All right. So Sam M, who I love dearly, he wrote in and said, "The state of it all."
Oh boy.
Hey guys.
So to speak.
Hey guys.
Is it now?
Lizzo was on Mando. That is where Star Wars is right now.
Spoiler.
Love you guys. Hope all is well.
Short and sweet to the point.
Sam M's new father. I think I had number 4.
Yeah, congratulations, man. That's fucking.
18.
All right.
Okay.
Shane G wrote in and said, "Good afternoon, Wizards. After listening to the fantastic discussion you guys had this week pertaining to friendships, I had to share something that happened to me this past weekend. Me and my wife went to a wedding for a longtime friend of mine. He is one of 3 brothers that I spent the majority of my childhood with. Up until the high school years was a fate where we grew apart. And as you guys know, sometimes you have to grow apart to make it back together. That's exactly what happened this weekend.
Sometimes you just, yeah.
It had been years since I had really spoken to these guys and getting the chance to sit at a table with these guys and had the chance to catch up. Life has a funny way of working itself out sometimes. In this case, a really stellar and awesome way. Yeah, that's great. Don't want to make this too long. Just felt like I needed to share it. Keep up the great content. Thanks, Shane G. I'm glad that you and your friends have made it back together.
Just for anybody's reference, Shane G was the guy whose house guest shaved his
balls
in his bathroom and left the evidence.
And I do want to say there's a difference between growing apart and having an issue.
Having a falling out. Yeah.
There's a difference.
Absolutely.
All right, so Corey wrote in and said, "Hey guys, that episode of Mandalorian." Oof. That was it. Dude, Corey is awesome. Get him out on the pod. Let's see here. So Sean W said, "Hey, Nerd Ragers is a long one," and it is, but hopefully you'll find it interesting. And let me get you hold on.
Hey, yo!
We're talking about paragraphs with fucking indentations and shit, y'all.
100%.
format.
Your recent discussions about friendship have really struck a chord with me. Last episode, you talked about how changing the established dynamics of a relationship can fuck up the balance. And earlier this year, you examined just how far you would go to preserve a relationship. Shout out to the oven mitts, am I right? I got a situation that covers both of these. He says, since high school, I've had 2 friends, not counting my wife, and I'm distinguishing friends here from acquaintances, guys I hang out with, etc. I'm talking 2 capital F, take a bullet for them friends. Let's make a shout out for that. But I know a lot of people who would be mad if they heard me say that.
I mean,
I met the first one in junior high school, and we bonded over nerd stuff. We constantly made plans to go to comic and toy stores, play video games, have sleepovers, etc. I met the second one late in high school, and we didn't make plans. We just did stuff. He'd show up unannounced, and we'd go to the movies, find good restaurants, drive around, etc.
Tummy sticks.
Anyway, and you said that last time too, dude.
I'm trying to recapture.
Anyway,
look up docking, guys.
Time went on. I got married. He started his own business. We saw each other less and less. First, it was a few times a year. Then it was only Christmas. Then it was the occasional email. And then even the emails stopped.
You got laid.
Last 2 times I emailed him were in 2018 when California was going through those major wildfires. So, and in 2019, COVID started. I didn't receive a reply either. And I just stopped. Didn't text him, didn't call him, didn't drive over to his house or his work. My wife thought I was nuts even before that point, but we were seeing each other on the regularly. But I told her that's just our dynamic. So it's a weird question. I bear him no ill will, and I don't imagine he bears me any. We're not the Banshees of Ireland. If he called me tomorrow, I'd take the call, wouldn't even bring it up, and yet I would never call him first. Our dynamic was also so laid back that me making a third attempt to contact wouldn't be cool, for lack of a better term.
I mean, you contacted him last. It's up to him to call you back. I wouldn't.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you did your due diligence. I'd say like,
pass the mic around, guys. You got something to say.
Who said call that dude?
Me.
All right, go for it.
Just fucking call him.
Again.
Yeah.
For the third time?
No, he said he just emailed. He said he was just sending emails.
And he called. I think he called him too.
You said stop keeping score?
Yeah,
that's it.
Stop keeping score.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
But I mean, you did when you stopped calling.
Actually, he might be onto something.
Yeah. There's an Eastern. Oh, go ahead.
Chris might be onto something.
Give him both. Give him 2 mics.
So freestyle with that for a minute.
Well, it sounds like they were good friends. Sounds like that they had moved beyond just acquaintances. Sounds like they knew each other really well, done stuff together. I mean, it feels like the moment. But yeah. Honestly, if you felt that way, you had a relationship like that, you grabbed each other every once in a while or whatever that may be. No, but really, if you got a good friend, hold on to that for the rest of your life.
But did they let go though?
That's real.
But if they let go, you let go, right?
Yeah, if they let go, then
I mean, he reached out a couple of times and it was a few years ago and never called back.
Stop with the emails. Don't do the emails. Call your friend.
All I want to say is that Jenny and I were like peas and carrots.
What about if you send 2 emails? Does the second one say per my last email? Do you leave with that? I still want to be your friend. I mean, it's some great points you brought up.
Yeah,
but listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't chasing no bitches and I ain't chasing no dudes. If you want to be my friend, that's cool, but I'm not fucking like chasing nobody around for a friendship.
They left you on red for a reason.
That's right. They left me on red.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, it might be no animosity towards you. Like, if he's done with the relationship, he's done. It doesn't have to be anything hard feelings about it.
Listen, we all are friends. Look,
I've let people.
We have lots of friends. We have lots of acquaintances. Pronunciation, but like, I think most of us. We all there's something we're friends for that person for. Like, we have a reason. And I know that's a shallow thing to say, but I think a lot of us like maybe that person's whatever bandwidth they're on now has nothing to do with what you can offer them anymore. It's nothing personal. It's just people move the fuck on.
Yeah. And even what you guys are talking about is worst case scenario, right? Like Joe said, if he's not your friend no more, he's not your friend, move on. But that's an assumption. And maybe the friend doesn't have the bandwidth for what you're talking about. And this was the mansplaining that I was going to get into. But when you summed it up, I was like, that's it. Stop keeping score. Yeah. If you're sitting at home, you're married now, you're obviously investing more of your energy into your wife. You got a different different circle of friends, maybe kids, a career bump, right? Like you're going. So a lot of that is time and energy and effort. So I don't have it for the friends that I used to have. It's not to say that
it's true.
They take precedent. It's just to say I don't have it for you right now. Yeah. So I'm not keeping score. If I hit my boy up and I'm like, "Hey man, can we hang out?" and he says no, I'm not taking that personal.
Well, I mean, that sounds like the writer. But he's not taking it personally. He said he'll take a call back immediately.
Right. But what if you get left on red? How many times are you going to send them?
Hold on. First of all, that's a whole nother topic. Take off read receipts. And you can go into your settings and turn that dumb shit.
But you know what I mean. You know, well, you see that he read the message. It's been 3 fucking weeks. Are you going to be like, bro, you good?
Well, then you walk away. There's an Eastern philosophy term called skillful means. And basically it means meet people where they are. And you meet, and when you put the effort in, you, and without taking score, you decide when you want to step up and when you want to pull out. But that's
I'll take it. We say so to speak here, but I'll take it. Hey, hold on 1 second.
So here's the thing, like it becomes a positive negative thing. Dude sounds like he's getting a lot more negative energy out of it, whether he's assuming those negativities or they're real. It's getting to him now. He needs to just let that shit ride. Like I've talked about it with Bobby for a hot minute. Had a friend I grew up with. I've asked him lots of questions about the one big issue that he really had because it kind of mirrored the issue that I had. And at some point, you have to just stop hitting tips, like Casey's saying over there, and you have to kind of
look up docking guys.
Why don't you gotta turn around
on radio?
It's an audio platform.
Listen, I said this on 399. You guys never hear it. It was the best episode we ever recorded. But I said I think the male adult friendship is one of the most complicated relationships.
It is.
Absolutely.
So fuck all y'all.
And there's the emotional part, and I mentioned it when you were talking about we talked about the kitchen table. It's cool to see that what the world sees as manly men being able to be open and emotional with
and vulnerable.
That's vulnerable because that's hard.
It's hard. It's hard. Like because you don't want to appear weak. You don't want to appear weak. Like even if you know your shortcomings, like so to speak. Like let me take actually I'll take Ricky. So for example, no, for the cup. Like Ricky has a beautiful head of hair.
He is. It's wonderful.
You know, like I can acknowledge that as a man who was not blessed with such genes.
Understand?
You know, but I can acknowledge, hey man, he's got his shit together. That shit he came tight. He got his shit lined up, ready for the weekend. I dig it. You know, I respect it.
But there's a plus minus.
You didn't get shit lined up, man. You got a gray head of hair.
No, bitch, I look good.
There's a plus minus because what God gave me up here, He took away from down there. So I mean, it's just kind of
I got a pretty dick, but like
I mean, listen. Right, just real quick, we talked about that a lot, and I think, I think we've like kind of hit the nail on the head, so to speak, on the friendship thing. Because I think all of us have had those experiences where, like, you know, I mentioned before, like you might think like Joe, I might consider you me. Let me start over. I might consider you to be my best friend, but you might consider me to just be that dude, you know. Yeah. So perspective is worth whatever you want it to be. But I just think it's this topic. I think has a lot of depth.
100%.
I mean, we talked about it for an hour last time,
and we got a ton of questions.
Real quick, I just want to say, you know, to offer some advice. Just hit that dude up on his birthday. Wish him a happy birthday. If he responds to you, he doesn't. But at least
I'll tell you, man. Even that's
at least he knows that you're still thinking about him.
Don't post on Facebook.
I can tell you, even that's complicated. Like here's the thing about me is like as a dude that I like, and I was just having a conversation with people earlier, right? Like with like. I'm gonna have a little sob story for myself for a moment. So there's tissues down there if you need it. I was in special education, right? Hold on. Casey, I'm gonna let you wear. I'm like Casey, I need you to wear these. I'm gonna hit this button just for you, okay?
Got him.
Casey's been waiting to hit that hole.
So like, you know, like I legitimately was in special education. Like teachers used to come into the room, remove me from a room, put me in a room with other people that you know what I mean, like some could, you know what I mean, like out of control, right?
Couldn't count their books.
Right. Well, I'm still hanging out with some of them today. But like, you know, I say that to say this is that, like, in spite of me not being the smartest dude, it doesn't mean I'm not a bright dude. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that if I'm in a room and the temperature changes 1 degree hotter or colder, I don't recognize it immediately. And I don't mean that. And I don't mean that in a literal sense. Yeah. Right. So, you know, there's shit that comes in life and in growth and in, like, of understanding who you are and who you're meant to be around. And, you know, my advice on friendship and shit and people that love you is like, man, don't sacrifice anything. Don't sacrifice anything. Like for anything. For people to show you affection. If you have to turn off something in yourself, right, that is true to who you are, in order for somebody else to just give you a nod or somebody else to say that's my guy, you're not their guy, because you got to turn that off in order for you to be their guy. Yeah. Right. So it's not fair. You know, and I'll leave it at that.
Look at Bobby Dr. Phil face.
Yeah, yeah. and look, there was a bunch of shit from the last, like, the Joe shit, and like Joe, and like dude, like, I want you to know, man, like, the shit that you come to the table with, right, where you have like topics and you're like, man, I'm not sure if this is an appropriate spot, bro. That's the heart of this shit that keeps the pod in a special place. You know, because when I'm left to my own devices, I just want to make dick and tranny jokes.
Are they the same
400. 400. That's like one of the same, man.
Same thing. That's just one joke.
One joke. You know, like, and
I thought this was, I thought the show was more entertaining. It was that, you know,
so like they're like, we're gonna get to them on the next episode of 399. But there was a lot of people that wrote in to just express, and you heard it already, their gratitude for the conversation about friendship. But that is the shit that is the soul that keeps this shit moving, is shit like that. And that's not to say that's all on your shoulders, because it's not, because you bring that shit to the table. I bring that shit to the table sometimes, but like, never think for a moment, like, that's the beauty of Nerd Rage, is it can consider and contemplate and conquer and consider any point of view, you know, and that's what makes it worthwhile. And bro, I'd rather have, and like, we are in the top 20 in Russia, no big deal, but I'm okay with being, you know, top 50 in Russia. you know, as long as the heart and soul of that shit is still real. That's what everything is for me, is about real authenticity, genuineness, like shit that I know if 30 people connect to it, they connect to it in a very sincere place. You know, that's what means the most to me. So like, don't stop doing that.
I mean, it's like,
I'd rather, and I told you this off air privately, I'd rather hear 30 more topics about how you feel about friendship in your heart than about your baking shows.
I love the or your anime.
Me personally.
Definitely more than anime.
Yeah.
Well, I would just say, like, we always like this. We always say that, right? Us who are here regularly, we're always real. This is us. You guys can, the rest of you can tell, when we're off the mic, we're the same fucking people, right? We don't fucking put on a character or a show.
It's Joe, Bobby, and Chris with Nerd Rage Radio.
Yeah. But I don't usually think about it as a show. It's just like us having a conversation.
My bad, dog.
It's just us having a conversation, and we just happen to be recorded. But like, there is something in the back of my mind that this is listened to. This is supposed to be entertaining, and I'm like, there's a time and place for everything, and sometimes I don't know what the time and place is.
Yeah, but entertaining,
because like, dick jokes is funny, right?
Yeah, but entertaining doesn't just mean laughs. Because if that was the case, you could stand to be a little funnier. But like, but you know what I mean? Like entertainment is not just laughs. Entertainment is about it's not. The laughs work because the laughs are real. Yeah.
Things that make you go,
It's not the laughs. It's the realness. It's the genuineness.
Well, I just have one quick thing to add to the subject of friendship, and I wish I could say it's some 1,000-year-old Eastern philosophy, but it's just something I heard.
The spy balloon was
It's that you should go where you're celebrated. Don't go where you're tolerated.
That's good.
Sometimes you don't know what that is, though.
That's the problem. Hey, my man been hanging out at black churches, bro.
Hey, go where you celebrated. They don't have black churches in West Virginia.
And there, Evan is laughing like you ever been to a black church.
This is a compound on what Bobby was saying about Joe. Like there'll be times, and I feel like I said this one of the times I was on. Like you'll be going there. Just say if it's 1 to 10, you get to 8, and then you're like, but I'll talk to you about that later. And I'm like, fuck! I'm on the radio like, fuck!
But it hooks you, right? You're back for. I wonder if Joe's going to finish that story.
Yeah, because that's what it is. Is like
I worry about like it being not something people want to listen to.
You know, like we who Phil wants to get in. I'm gonna get Phil. I'm gonna pass it to you right next.
All right.
Like podcasting is a weird space.
Yes,
and the further I get along in it, the more I learn. And like what I've learned is like there's your Joe Rogans, your Joe Buttons, your whatever.
All them Joes.
You laugh, but that's the fact.
You're in thick company there.
It's time for you to step up, Joe.
I gotta step up.
But it's these people that earn an exceptional amount of views, right? And they're in the top like 30%. But it's not that many motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And then there's your mid cast, which encompasses like your like 50,000 views to like your 1,000 views. And we are above that. So like all of a sudden, Nerd Rage gets catapulted into this mid-tier of this space because the space is so new. And then there's the low tier where it's like you have millions of motherfuckers making podcasts that are getting 10 views a week, right? So like...
Shout out KC.
I didn't say that shit. Hey.
Damn.
Hey. But the point is that like the reason so all of a sudden we have a mid-tier podcast, right? But our mid-tier podcast is getting like 3,000 views a week. Whereas and we're in the mid. Right, and the top is getting like 8 million.
Yeah, it's
because like the differential is so extreme. But it's like the reason why we have the 3,000 is because it's real. It's authentic, and like I would rather go back to 800 views or 800 downloads as long as it's fucking real,
right?
Than 200,000 and it's fucking David Filoni baloney. I stole that from you. I'll give you some props. But yeah, that's how I feel. Like
so, just real. Oh
yeah, Phil. No, Phil.
No,
Phil.
go ahead, just real quick, while we're still on the topic of friendship.
I like your mic grip. It looks good.
Well, we're still on the topic of friendship.
It's hold on loosely, but don't let go.
For somebody who can't be here, shout out to Raul.
Yeah.
Do you have any updates on that you could talk about, or no? I know you talk to him once in a while.
As far as I know, his health is all on the up and up.
Okay,
everything
good.
is on the road to recovery.
That's good.
Yeah, like and I love that dude. He was invited here tonight. He would have been more than welcome.
Yeah, I just figured he probably couldn't make it tonight. So
yeah, because I think he's in a spot with, and like I don't want to say anything he doesn't want to say. He's a private dude, but I think that he has had some health challenges. I've checked in with him as much as I can, as best as I can, as consistently as I can.
It's good,
but I think that and to be fair, Phil, I'm sorry I didn't check in on your feet. You know what I mean?
You didn't go to his house.
I didn't go to your house, but
dude, I was here. I rubbed my foot on your candle. It's okay.
I gave the candle to your feet.
What?
It's true. It's true, dude. My wife gave him Himalayan salt balls to rub on his feet.
Yes. He was rubbing them right there.
Well, that's what I meant. I couldn't remember what it was.
And that motherfucker had the nerve to take his sock off.
Yep,
which was nuts. But I say that to say this is that
you're not wrong.
For a dude that I was concerned about, because like I'm just not in a good emotional space to lose a lot more friends. Everything looks optimistic.
All right, that's good.
I'm
that's
happy
good.
with his place. He's not out of the woods yet, but I think he can see the forest from the trees.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Talking about like podcasts and just like the authenticity of it. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I always try to do this on Off the Mats. like
give a shout out to Off the Mats and flex on him.
Like, and so you like horror?
Hold on.
Don't forget Compton Beer Club, son. Like, what's up, son? Like, we got them all.
JJ Wiki,
we got them all. But no, like, one of the things that I always tell people when they come onto the podcast, because they get nervous, and I tell them, look, I'm nervous too. I'm nervous every fucking time I like hit record, but I let them know, like, we just here to have a conversation, because a podcast to me is just a conversation amongst friends that everybody else gets to hear.
Yeah.
And that's where the heart comes from. Because like I had one chick on the podcast. Every time like we were doing,
you like girls getting on your shit?
Ain't no girls here,
son, because they allowed to vote. So
Oh yeah, it's a new day out there.
But nah, like she kept trying to like change everything and edit everything. And I told her, like, look, the way this works is we talk, and what we talk about hits air.
Yeah.
So because it's all about being authentic, and that's the beauty of it, is you're vulnerable at that point. So I say a lot of fucked up shit on that podcast. And people know a lot of shit about me that they probably shouldn't know.
I'll tell you, man, it is something I learned. I'll be honest, like, it took Patreon for me to learn it. Is like people telling me, like, hey, I'm here for the shit. Like, to hear a human a human existence that normally nobody would ever open up about. Whether it be feeling a way about yourself, feeling a way about the people that you're with, feeling a way about your profession, feeling like and it's taught me something, is that, like, I think a lot of people like move through life and are kind of searching for some sort of like situation where they can say, like, hey man, I see my, like, I thought I was the only one that felt like this. I thought I was, and as they connect with people, like, fuck, like, everybody feels it. Everybody's just trying to make it through the fucking day. You know. So I think that shit is real.
So, like, real quick before you move on.
Yeah.
Like,
he's that motherfucker. He got questions at the end of the fucking meeting.
So that was talking about the thing that the when you and Joe and all them were talking about a couple weeks ago about the friends and stuff like that. Sorry, Christopher. What I meant to say was, I'd actually reached out not too long ago without being a whole conversation to Joe.
Yep.
Just, hey, what's going on, man?
A lot of people have.
You good?
Like I don't want to know your business. I don't need to know your business.
But are you good?
All I know is you're cool. I know that seems weird coming from me because we don't really know each other like that. I have a different kind of thought on what you guys are because I have thousands of hours of Ricky knowing Chris, Bobby, and Joe.
Right.
Chris, Bobby, and Joe have 5 hours and a con that can't be named anymore to base their relationship or Ricky on. So I reached out to him and I said, dude, I don't need to know. Just know you'll get there and you'll be fine on the other side of it. And if you need to talk.
Yeah.
And I even reached out to Bobby one time. I'm like, dude, I don't need to know what it is. Just tell me that you know Joe's okay. That's all I need.
And I think that's a fair question because, like, I'm gonna move on to this question, but I do think, like, there's been times, like, obviously Joe has mentioned on the pod that, his life has encountered some rough seas, and people have come to me and be like, hey, and I'll say, like, look, Joe's going through it, but when I look at it, I don't think it's anything that Joe can't overcome. It's not like, all hands on deck. It's like, hey, Joe's got to work through some shit. And I would say the same thing about you without giving away any details, just to say, like, hey, I think it's going to be all right. Or I'd be like, hey, I don't know if it's going to be all right. Better hit him up. But I haven't said that about Joe yet so far.
But as a fan, we do appreciate the reality.
Yeah, man.
That is a thing.
So absolutely. And one last thing. It is ironic that you hide your face, but not your feelings. Mic drop.
Hallelujah. Funky chopper sound. I like that rhythm a little bit. That funky chopper sound.
All right, so this is from Jeff. He said, greetings and salutations in our crew. First time write in, but I've been listening for a few years now. Just like Kenny from a week or two ago, I too joined the Patreon this year, and I'm so happy I did. Oh! He said, my question today relates to G.I. Joe. Since you've been reviewing the figures and watching the old show recently on said Patreon, and I know the rest of the NRR crew is familiar with the characters, it had me wondering, what Joes and Cobras do you see yourselves as the most? I would think Bobby as Wetsuit or Mutt. Yo, what the fuck? Wow. Brash yet knowledgeable and skilled. All right, he saved it. Chris as General Hawk, able to see the big picture and handle many things at once.
Damn, I'll take it.
And Joe is quick.
No.
Then he said, then he said, just kidding. Joe is Lifeline. He's in the medical field, and he's related to sci-fi. Since he's a big anime fan, I also see Gary. I wish he could be here tonight. Show guest from time to time as Leatherneck. On the Cobra side, I see Bobby as Cobra Commander, cunning leadership and crazy rolled into one. I don't agree. Chris as Destro, able to calmly deal with things in the face of crazy.
I can see that.
And he's black.
And
Hey, listen. That little patch of skin.
And Joe is Zartan, able to blend into any environment.
Because I'm white adjacent.
Thanks for the first 400. Looking forward to the next 400.
Hey, yo, I just want to be Baroness Dog, bro.
So I will tell you, as far as Joes are concerned, the one that I relate to the most is the dude with the goggles.
Snow Job.
No. You got hey, who said that? Who said that? Hey, pack your shit and get out, man. He wears all gray. Most of these got
low light.
Low light. That's what he's talking about. Yeah.
No.
Low light is who I relate to the most.
Okay.
Evan is Roadblock.
Racist.
Oh, do you rhyme?
Wait, is Evan a good cook? Is that why? It's because he's a good cook, right? Is that why he's a good cook?
Do you relate to any Joe or Cobra figure, Chris?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of digging the Hawk and the Destro.
It's a good.
He kind of dialed me right up.
What about you, Joe?
I don't think so.
I don't even know who these characters are.
Fucking Storm Shadow and fucking Snake Eyes because they're fucking ninjas, I guess.
Oh yeah.
No one big shipwreck.
Whoever's
It's okay if he says that.
So
that's my word.
But,
Ninjas.
There was something about Low Light that always struck a nerve with me, and it was in the G.I. Joe movie.
It was creepy
When he came, maybe, but it's when he came in and corrected young people fucking up without any power.
Are you sure you're not thinking of Beachhead? Because he was the one that...
No. It was when they for those that know the G.I. Joe movie, Low Light comes in, and with the young recruits, he's like, you two are fucking up. And he
that was in the animated joint? That's Beachhead. That's Beachhead.
That's Beachhead, bro.
It's not.
I can dig it.
Trust me, it's not.
We'll roll with it.
I know the Beachhead scene, but there's a Low Light scene too, where it's during the court trial with Falcon.
Okay.
And he's like, this is business now. Like, you've moved it beyond it. I relate to that. It doesn't matter. All right, Paul C. NRR and affiliates. I've given my NRR story a past Sentinel episodes, so I won't repeat it here. Thank you for all the countless episodes of entertainment, the main cast and guests alike. You're all very appreciated. Main question is for the NRR guest crew, affiliates. All right.
Affiliates, time to shine.
All right, so I'm going to move around. So when Bobby first approached you to be on the show, how did he pitch it to you, and what were your immediate thoughts when he asked? So next question, this is a safe space. You're all amongst friends. What are some of your hot takes that you usually keep bottled up? So I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this for the main cast. We'll do this for we'll do this for the extended universe. How did he pitch it to you, and what were the immediate thoughts when he asked? We'll start here, work our way around.
We were at work and Bobby said, "Do you like to do butt stuff?" And I said,
Not what I said.
I don't remember. I have a terrible memory. That's my hot take. I don't remember how it came up, but just call it casual conversations, which is what makes it natural. You know what I mean? So, he asked that I want to do an episode, probably filling in for, that.
For me, let's just be honest.
Were you already a listener? Or you haven't? Or that's when you started listening?
No, I was not a listener. And then,
did you know about this?
I had heard that Bobby had something going on.
Oh,
and then actually, as a matter of fact, now that you mention it, I didn't even know why I was there. You know, I didn't realize I was filling shoes or like, you know.
Oh, well, you're not, but
Everything you said sounded like a song lyric.
Buddy, these are 14s and they're ostrich. You can't feel
them.
Well,
these 9.5s was doing work while you was gone, my boy.
That's fair.
I know my first episode, I was like, I'm willing to bet if you go back and listen, like the first one, I was kind of like, hi, yeah, well, okay, and I was just answering questions. Oh, shit.
All right, Phil, what about you?
So,
sorry.
After I begged you to come to that first Halloween party I came to, you eventually hit me up. I said, I want you to do something. I don't know what yet. And I said, all right, well, let me know eventually. And we kind of fell out of communication for a bit. And then you did episode 100. You got drunk and you clowned me openly on air for not. Oh, Phil never. He never hit me up. He didn't never hit me. I would thought he would be here, but he's not. He's not part of the show yet. I said, all right. So I think eventually I hit you up again, and then you, Adam, and everybody did like a group call to me and said, okay, we want you to run the Twitter. And I said, all right. That's basically it.
What about you, Brink?
He doesn't even remember being here.
Yeah, he doesn't even remember
being here.
I was at Chris's house.
You can pass it on to Greg if you didn't.
I'm a loyal supporter.
Yeah, you
There's
are.
400 episodes or $3.99. However, I've listened to all of them. I've hearted all of them.
Have you really? Because I
Wow.
haven't even listened to all of them.
There it is.
That's a feat.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It always
That's
blows
like
my
1,200
mind
hours.
that like people that like come in now and they're like, "Hey, I'm starting at episode 1. I'm working my way through." I'm like, just move forward.
I know. Or like people are like, I'm working backwards. I'm like, why would you listen to old shit?
It's taking a minute for this to find its groove. Just start here and move forward.
But people do it, man. It's crazy.
But if someone asks me, to for assistance, anything, I give of myself. So
especially with charts and graphs.
Charts and graphs, buddy.
What about
the
Greg?
analyzers?
I'm sitting at home with nothing to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Nah,
like stay at home. Greg is a stay at home Greg and a father. It's like he's taking that role. Like
Hey.
I respect that shit.
Bruh, I think I was at Skullfest and I did a couple of the mic sessions.
Yep.
The microphone as far as we was recording stuff.
Right.
And I think you heard some of them, and then you kind of hit me up and was like, "Yeah, you want to get on the podcast?" I said, "What the fuck is that?" I don't know. I thought we was just playing around. I was drinking, so
yeah.
And it turned out to be all right.
I got an eye for talent, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to make it about me, but
Yeah, he did. He picked
It's like that book fucking Chuck is reading.
How'd you come across Skullfest?
TFCon.
TFCon, right. I met Bobby at TFCon, and he was like, hit me up.
And I was like, oh, you're not a weirdo.
Yeah, because we finally met each other. And he was like, yeah, you come through, man. I was like, all right. They're like, told me to text or something like that. And it was just like a back and forth.
Yeah, I was like, stay in touch because you're not a weirdo and you're local.
Yeah. And so, yeah, right.
That seems there's a high bar, actually.
Yeah.
A weirdo, not a weirdo and local is a high bar.
Well, that's how. Like I was there too. Bobby's like, "Hey, this dude's logo and he ain't a weirdo." I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Oh yeah, bring him.
We was good. We was good ever since. And I mean, I'm still here. I'm still ticking. I love every moment of this joint, man. Like being on a podcast is straight. I mean, the power that you have and what you're saying. I didn't get a chance to.
I mean, we are rocking in Finland.
Hey,
so
look,
that's
like
real.
all jokes.
If you had to give that power a name or a color,
Oh my god!
Because it's Evan, I got wait a minute. Black power. Go ahead,
Dante. I don't want to answer for you, but we just been cool and we were in high school,
like fucking 30 years.
No, I remember you hit me on Facebook one day. He was like, because I mean, I knew about it because you told me about Shattercast. I listened to some episodes of that, and then you messaged me one day and go, "Hey, you wanna?" No, he that was later.
That was
He goes, "You want to help with the Nerd Rage Facebook?" I was like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah.
It was like, all right, and then the episodes started coming from there. It was like, "Yo, you busy this day?" I was like, "No, I'm not doing shit." And it was just kind of from there. Listen to the podcast.
Dude, I miss Dante with not shit to do, man. What happened to that dude, man?
Hey, man,
kids and responsibility
I've got shit
now,
to do
man.
next week, so I'll be here.
Chris,
I think we all know how arrived here.
Chris, I'm not.
I told one story to Bobby.
No. How in the fuck did you even get involved in this?
Yeah, I'm like a ninja. I just show up. You just let me in.
No, but how in the fuck did you? Because you've been at the Halloween party.
Yep, Halloween parties.
How did you weasel your little way into my heart?
two or three Skull Fests.
Yeah.
TFCon. TFCon was the first time we had met. I had got a commission from you.
Okay. And then I was just like, I like this.
And then
dude.
it's just my natural charisma.
Well, it's funny because I didn't pick up on that initially.
Yeah, I bet.
But when I got the information, I was like, man, this dude is special as fuck. Like, you are my ace in the hole, so to speak. You're a dude that I'm like, man, I want to know every little intricacy of what makes you tick. Because,
let me get my pants off here.
Joe, go get the camera. Joe, go get the camera. We're getting ready to bump it out to the $50 tier.
You got that cat hat or a
Ricky.
What up? I can tell you when I got the call, I was literally walking through Walmart, and Bobby called me up. He's like, "Hey man, hey man, I'm from Florida. That's some fancy shit. Y'all relax." So Bobby's like, "Hey, remember how you said if you were down to do something to help out, you still down for that?" I'm like, "Sure. What'd you want me to do?" He's like, "I was thinking about doing these promo things." I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "But don't you want to?" "Yes." I don't need to know. We'll figure it out later. I'll just do it. But I'm going to do the opposite of Chris Maul and throw my sensitive side out there. And I'm going to flip it back and be like, I still don't understand why out of the thousands of listeners, you called my number and said, hey, do you want to help out?
So I'll tell you why, because I don't want this to sound away. I knew you wouldn't want to fuck up. I knew you would want to be a part of it and not want to fuck it up. Yeah. And that made me think, oh, he's going to be dependable. Okay. And
next promo heard.
So Night Train is your first time here.
My first time, yeah.
But you want to chime in real quick?
I started off as a fan, and it's actually my wife who encouraged me to reach out. Because I actually, I'm a big Transformer fan, and I do a lot of music. I actually did a song with a guy named Word Burglar, who is a MC who did an all Transformer album himself up in Toronto.
All right,
and just connecting with people in my own community. That's what this is about. Yeah. It's just like finding your folks so you can, talk shit and talk about, all sorts of random pop culture things that I can't talk to when I'm at work or something like that. I don't like, I'm not basic. So I had to find people. And like I said before at the beginning of this, I feel like y'all are real.
100%.
And I need reality sometimes.
I did try to do a song with the Hamburglar, but he did not return my call.
The Hamburglar.
Yeah, that motherfucker's ill.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for coming and welcome.
Thank you.
It is a rite of passage, and my dear friend Evan, who's been around for quite some time.
It's been a little bit.
Hey, you could just say February.
Right.
Longer than people know, but you've been in the Nerve Rage circuit for a long time.
Exactly.
How in the fuck did you end up here?
Oh, we work together.
I know that, obviously, but did I just say, hey man, you'd be a good fit?
I don't even remember, man.
It's February, man.
I come around every February.
It's been a few years,
and I think some type of guilt kicked in, and you said, "Hey,
here we go."
He's like, we got a couple white guys.
Yeah, I think I need to extend this. So I was a diversity hire.
I was first.
Wait. Dante was first, and then you said, "Oh, Dante's out."
I was first, but then he was like, he's got a white wife. So
hey, and I want to let you know, man. Like, I know you and I, when we sit at this table, we butt heads and we disagree, but I love you, and I love the fact that we can disagree. Hold on. Don't do that with you.
Look up docking.
When I'm trying to be real, man. Like everybody, you want to scratch your chin. And I love the fact that we can disagree about real shit that I think a lot of people in real life want to disagree and talk about and don't get the opportunity to. And I value that shit more than you fucking possibly know.
I speak very highly of you both personally and professionally. So I think you know that. But
well, I just got a big award recently, so I understand that part. But the other part,
it just started. Yeah. Big But it means more coming from me. But I appreciate the opportunity to come in here, rap with you, chop it up a little bit, fill in where need be, and come in and represent during the month of February.
And look.
Oh my goodness!
Everybody, like I said 1,000 times, anybody whose name is on that mug, you're welcome anytime.
That's right. So thank you again.
No, stop that.
No, seriously, it's very much appreciated, and you got a good group of folks here. So keep it up, man. Congratulations on everything.
All right, enough. Chucky, how the fuck did you end up here?
So there I was mopping with my mop bucket, and Bobby was there mopping as well, and he was listening to his own podcast.
Hold on. Because I have to document the times for the best of episode every year. It's not a narcissistic thing, although I do enjoy listening to it.
I thought it was quality controller, but
control.
Yeah, no, just you saw my true colors. True colors.
There's so much of this.
Hey, Joe, you remember when Casey and I used to be friends?
Yeah. Back in the day.
No, just kind of bringing me into the community, and I don't know. It's in our mopping world, being able to share some of these passions, aliens or comics or movies. They just provided a space for it, and I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you, but you know what I think? Like I'm listening to the stories, and I don't want to deflect it at all. But you know what I think, and it's even true with you, and it's even true with you.
He's pointing at Chris and Joe.
Joe and Chris, but
not Ricky.
No, but not Ricky. But Ricky's also included. Is you know what it is? Is anybody who shows me love, I give it back.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So fucking not casual, so easily. This took me back when I first contacted you.
Yeah. Like,
it was crazy.
That's my thing. It's like anybody who gives me love, I give it back.
Spread love. It's the Bobby way.
Yeah.
But like you say, he does it so easily and to another level. Like when I get to know somebody, I'll be cool with them for a second.
I couldn't do that.
But like Bobby's like met me, and then like within moments he's like, "Hey, you want to come to my house?"
Yes,
my
exactly.
Family, come
it's
eat dinner, dude. It takes me a minute to treat somebody like that. We might be cool. It might be 6 months to a year before you even know I have a wife and kids. You know what I mean?
So this was the next question
Casey, I got a wife and kids.
from Paul C, and I want to keep it for just you, Chris, and
I
Joe.
got one ready.
So he said, next question is, what are some of your hot takes that you usually keep bottled up inside? These can be about any topic. Doesn't have to be nerdy. Do you love Tom Cruise and The Rock, but don't dare say anything around Bobby? Is Hawaiian pizza the best pizza? Are sleeves overrated? I figure a Nerd Rage Radio After Dark episode would make this interesting.
Who wrote this?
Paul C.
Paul C.
I tell my hot take all the time about Jared Leto. I'll fuck his ass up.
No, about shit you don't want to say.
Fucking relax, son.
Yo, that dude is an irrational.
It's like people with fear of clowns. My hatred of Jared Leto. I don't understand it myself.
I respect it.
Hey, I touched on this a little earlier. I don't really bring this up, but I don't know why it's front of mind today. But I think, sorry if anybody's offended by this, I think Harry Potter adult fans are fucking weirdos.
I just had this conversation with Gort, and his wife started yelling at me.
So I'll tell you, man. I think that
I say that with all, look at my life.
With all due respect.
With all due respect, look at my life.
It's complicated because like I don't see myself as being on one particular end of one thing or the other, but like my hot takes that I just keep to my fucking self because I know it could cause a problem.
Yeah, it wouldn't be on this show.
Are political shit.
Yeah.
It's political shit. Where it's like, man, like I know everybody's trying to tell me that this is what's up, and I feel like it's maybe not what's up. You know, and I don't want to feel any kind of way about it, but it's also with Evan, if you could just put your phone down for just a second. I know
that's like the fourth time tonight.
Wow. Dude, that dude is important, man. But like
hey, shit, man.
That's one of the things that's one of the things that I appreciate about you being out here is there are certain conversations that come up where I feel like people are supposed to feel people get put in a position where they're like, if you don't feel this way, you're wrong. And you and I are able to discuss that. And I always hit you up afterwards and I'm like, man, I can't tell you how good that felt just to talk about it. And the last time that I did that, you said, man, it's not about, I wish I could say it, but you were like, it's not about what's right and what's wrong. It's about explaining to somebody how I feel and listening to somebody about how they feel or something like that. Like it's about an exchange of ideas, not about trying to change anybody's mind, basically.
Yeah, I'm very profound that way.
You ready to wrap this up?
Hey, this Bobby, I'm gonna say one. That motherfucker don't miss.
He's sharp. But like that's the shit that I feel. And then there's like other shit where I'm like, man, like I know the world is telling me that this is what's up.
Yeah.
But I have complicated feelings on it. I don't feel like it's right or wrong.
Do you see both sides, Bobby?
No, I don't know.
There you go.
I don't see both sides. I'm trying to work out with my buddy and just make a decision about this shit.
Hey, that's what that scene is all about.
You know what I mean?
Casey,
Like,
don't sit there if you don't want to be touched.
You know what I mean? Like go work out together. Like go because
I mean, it's not again with the time and place of everything. You don't need to. There's no reason you have to bring it up here.
Right. And
we don't really talk about it.
And I have other places like Wine and Cheese on Patreon. If you join, then you can find out how much of a monster I am. All right, so let's move on to the next one. And I just want to get to the 400 questions. Matt, I'm going to say that one for last as a true false. We'll get through it. All right, so Paul C. had one more. He said, one more question while NRR and affiliates are all in one place. For everyone in the room, what's one piece of advice you have for the upcoming generation? I know that everyone's teeth are of varying lengths, but you all have lived a lot of life. There's at least one thing that you know better than those than the younger whippersnappers. As before, this can be about anything. Doesn't have to be nerd related. It can be about anything. We're gonna just go work in chronological order. It's a one sentence that you're gonna give to the younger generation as a piece of advice.
That's good. Keep waiting for your turn, bitch. I feel like there's a million things I would want to say, but if I had to sum it up to one, it would be no matter what, stay true to yourself. That's it.
Unless you're racist.
But even then. You know?
Stay your right. If that's who you is, that's who you is.
All right, let's keep it moving. Chris.
Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house.
Maryland Phil.
Pay attention to detail.
Ooh. Brink.
At minimum, change jobs every 3 years.
Oh, hold up.
Hold on now.
That's all.
Stay home, Greg.
Hey, stay consistent.
That's opposite, but yo, good. Chris.
Don't worry about what happens in school.
All right, I feel like you're misleading the youth.
My man.
Be half the person that those who look up to you think you are, and the world will be better.
Night Train.
Wash your balls.
Evan.
Don't stress the things you can't control.
Dante.
Just be cool.
Joe.
Don't have kids.
God damn.
Chucky.
Don't wait. Tomorrow may never come.
And
Would she know how much I loved her?
Damn. We gotta make some noise.
Every fucking time he says some shit.
Yeah, if you're in the skeleton crew, you know that was the uppercut right there. I'll close it out with the circumstances dictate the actions. Then come on, man. All right, so
just there to keep you in check.
Ricky Ticky Timber sent in. He said, "Why is Ricky the coolest guy from Florida that you know? And why is that true despite how it will make Jisk feel?"
That's a good one. That's a fucking good one.
Sit from my Android sitting right here in this room. Fuck your iPhone.
Dude, you are very cool, Ricky, and I am touched that you came up here for this episode.
Jisk's not here.
And Jisk is not here. But I gotta also say in the same breath, Jisk is a special dude, man. He's a special dude. All right, so we're gonna close with this one. There's some other questions. We'll get to that in 399, that we received. But we're gonna close. They're gonna close with this one. This is a true or false. We're just gonna have people shout it out. All right, so he says, this is from Matt H. He says, congratulations on 400 episodes. Like a fine wine and a fine lady, you guys are improving with age. Anyways, got the usual true or false, prepare your minds and bodies. The only thing that can save the Mandalorian is blasting Grogu to bits. And now we have a dark revenge story. I say true.
True.
All right, bacon as an ingredient is the preferred way to eat bacon.
True.
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 I don't understand.
False.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be real. Can't be turkey bacon.
Vegan bacon.
Nah, can't be that.
I don't think that's it. I think it's like bacon as an ingredient.
It's got to be some like, Evan, I know you're vegetarian now, but if you were to turn back to the dark side and you were going to eat bacon,
I never left the dark side, baby.
He doesn't miss. He doesn't miss.
hold on, give him the headphones. Give him the headphones, Joe. I'm gonna give it to him. Ready? Let me know when you're ready, Evan.
I'm ready.
Got him! Got him!
I'll give you that. But if you were to return to a carnivore lifestyle and you were to have bacon, would you go with pig, turkey, chicken, whatever?
Chicken bacon? What the fuck kind of life are y'all living?
I've never heard of chicken bacon.
If I
had to,
chicken bacon ranch,
if I had to, it'd have to be pork bacon.
Yeah. All right. Never buy cheap toilet paper or shoes.
True. Half true.
Even if they're Brooks.
They're not cheap.
I know.
I've been wearing my flip flops for 8 years.
You wipe your ass with them.
All right, here we go. Pubic hair needs to be groomed.
True.
Except
who said that?
He like his gray pubes.
If it's gray,
Greg is out there living a wild lifestyle, man.
Lost forest.
Just staying at home, dealing with what he has to.
Get Greg's beard.
You got two beards.
Wow.
You got two beards.
All right,
two beards.
Starscream is a twat.
True.
Oh, but he's the best kind of twat. Oh, that treachery has gotten him far.
All right, the original Tim Burton Batman is goofy as a fat guy in a unicycle. False.
Come on, Beansy, be better. False.
The latest Trump nonsense is ridiculous, and these are far greater things that he should be prosecuted for. True.
I have no idea about that shit, but I'll say true.
Yeah, I'll say true. Like I'm not super on one side or the other, but like trying to get him for this Stormy Daniels shit. If I was on the Democrat side, I would be trying to get him for that Atlanta vote shit. No, like that's the federal shit you can get him really go to. He's trying to get it for some New York law shit. Like New York laws, you can't even fucking jaywalk in that fucking town without fucking.
It's like Al Capone. It's like they got Al Capone for like tax evasion or something. Even though he's murdered people and they couldn't get him for it.
Yeah, it's just like it's like political theater. It's like it's not
theater.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Spell that.
All right, ramen toys should only be sold at the Dollar Tree. False.
False. I just actually pre-ordered something from them.
Yeah, I say false. They're making that Gloria. False. Swedish fish are superior non-chocolate. Swedish fish are the superior non-chocolate candy.
False. What the fuck? Get out of here.
Hey, I need to put a caveat on that. This is especially for Benzie. I do enjoy Swedish fish. I actually had some on the airplane last week. But they're nowhere near as good as Fresh Circus peanuts.
Have you had the high chew, bro?
You gonna kick me out and let him say that?
Nah, son. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That chair anyway.
This is my seat, y'all.
Joe Biden is out of his tits. True.
What about Joe Budden?
Yo, that motherfucker. That Joe Biden motherfucker. That dude gets loose as fuck. That shit is so funny to me. My favorite shit to this day is that when it comes to America, I got 3 words. I got 2 words. Made in America. Vietnamese pho pronounces pho is an underrated soup. False.
True.
What?
I say true.
True.
It's fucking good as
All right. So that was a mixed bag. Who says false? Raise your hand. Who thinks that pho is an underrated soup? Raise your hand.
Underrated? Not at all.
Underrated.
I think it's
no, it's
overrated.
All right, so we got 4. Who thinks it's overrated?
Yeah.
overrated. Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Winners.
Who don't know who the fuck it is?
Dude,
Super overrated.
Hot broth with noodles in it.
all right. I appreciate that because I feel like very uncultured on here sometimes.
You are. It's fine.
The NRR second squad is superior to most podcasts. Is superior to most podcasts. A squad. True.
For sure, true.
I say true.
Except for up the mats.
That's true.
So you like horror, except for that.
Fruit roll-ups need to make a comeback.
False.
Bro, they never
I don't
left.
care. It's not as good. It's not as good as you think.
They never left, bro.
Hey, Maryland Phil is gonna get diabetes.
True.
He's probably already pre-diabetic.
Super personal.
You're the candy guy. The soda.
Slim Charles was the realest character from The Wire. False.
False.
The
We mean
corner's
as far as
better
being from
than
the area
Wire.
or his character? His
all right.
character.
Nobody really likes Exhibit. False.
Like
West Coast Customs?
Him exhibit or like
All right, sorry. That's a mixed bag. Who likes Exhibit? Raise your hand.
In what sense?
1, 2, period. Just overall.
I like it.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
You can pimp
8.
my ride.
Who doesn't like Exhibit? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So there it is. Beef brisket is the barometer of a good barbecue joint.
True.
What did you say?
That's true.
It's true.
I'll go with the
it's
South.
not. It's not.
If I
When
go
people
to
say
a-
ribs, it's not fucking ribs.
If I go to a barbecue joint, that's what I'm getting.
It's the sauce.
It is,
It's the
but as far as the
sauce.
meats go,
It's
Everybody,
smoking
we
briskets,
can't
bruh.
talk on top.
we get a
What
hey.
the fuck they talking about?
Listen, hold on. She's saying the sauce. The sauce is. But give me that smoke ring, dog.
Yeah.
Get a smoke ring on that
Yeah.
brisket. I'm gonna
The
know what's
flavor,
up.
bro. The flavor profile. The sauce can't carry if your meat sucks. All right.
Alabama. All right. Cobra Commander is a jizz sock. Destro's the real one. True. That ties back to the previous one, doesn't it?
Yeah,
fair enough.
See, it's how comedy works.
Cheesecake is the best cake. False.
I love cheesecake, but it ain't the best cake.
Red velvet, bruh.
DC is riding a thin line between failure and success. False. They're on full failure.
Yeah. They haven't succeeded yet.
They're like a prolapsed anus at this point.
I mean, I like watching prolapse anus. To be
they're
fair.
trying.
That was me to
What?
spur you on.
I watch Motherless.com.
Everyone.
Hang on, guys.
Green Lantern was underrated.
Everyone needs. Oh wait, are we talking about DC the city?
Oh, I don't.
No.
Because I was saying DC the city is riding a thin line.
I was talking about the.
I was saying false. DC the city is in complete failure.
Oh, okay.
No, I thought- I was talking about the nerd shit.
I think it still works though. Bobby.
I think it still works.
It's the same.
Hard false. Let me tell you something from a DC guy. There is Washington and there's DC.
No. I think they're talking about from a political standpoint. If they were saying.
I don't care about the politics.
Yeah,
DC as a go-go and DC and hip-hop and everything. The art is incredible. I don't know what's going on in the hill over
I
there.
graduated.
I don't know what's going
I
on in
graduated
the
from
hill.
DC in 2012 and haven't been back
Sorry,
since.
I'm a DC
Hey, you
native.
want to see how you don't get invited back?
I agree.
This is the same problem I get into with all of this shit. So I'll say Baltimore Club over DC Go any day. What about you, Joe? You grew up in the middle.
Said I fucking graduated in 2012 and never stepped foot back in DC again. I said I'm never going back to DC. I fucking hated DC.
So you're going with Baltimore Club over DC Go.
Sure, I work in Baltimore now.
I love to hear it.
He's getting paid to go there.
All right,
That's true. I get paid to go there. But when I did used to go clubbing, it was DC. But then it was fucking techno bullshit. So
everyone needs more Hellboy in their lives.
True. I say true.
I'm gonna say false.
That's some good.
All right, so who's got the trues? Raise your hand.
I give it true.
God damn.
Okay, the false hat.
Have y'all ever? Hang on, let me ask.
You said people raise their hands.
Hang on.
Had seats at the table.
Do you know Hellboy outside of the fucking movies? Has anybody read?
The comics are great, but I think he's referring to the movie.
I don't think he
He's
is.
a Hellboy in general.
Just
He's a
Hellboy
Hellboy
in
in
general.
I want to meet a person who collects only silly putty. False.
That's
That dude's a creep.
I feel like Bobby. I feel like for the morbid curiosity, you would.
He's probably a Harry Potter fan.
Then he says, "That's that, fellas. Love you all, and I bid you peace." And I want to say to all you guys, we still have some questions for next week's show for $3.99
for last week's show.
Yeah, for last week's show, there's going to be probably afterwards. Look, man, the origin of Nerd Rage is. I wanted to talk about something more than Transformers. Mm-hmm. That's where Nerd Rage comes from. And Adam, shout out to him. He was willing to facilitate that and wanted to do that, you know. And then now it's this thing that's a thing, you know, and it's interestingly enough, one of the most successful things I do, numbers wise. Even though it doesn't really generate anything,
we're waiting on that Blue Apron.
Yeah, it's crazy,
And
but
the Blue Chew.
but that's because of everybody that takes part in it.
Sure,
and it's because of how authentic it has been, and how raw it has been, and how unapologetic and when you don't compromise, like it's been uncompromising and what it has been. So I want to thank the listeners, and I want to thank all of you guys around that has played a part in it, and Gomez too, who's on assignment in El Salvador in the motherland. And so we're going to go around. Let's do it all. If you know, you got to say an adjective and a body part. We're going to start left to right. We're going to go all the way around, and we're going to finish with Joe, Chris, and myself. So get the mic going. Get ready. Evan, you're going to be next. So
Glamorous glabella.
Where's that? Hold up.
That's Chucky O for you.
Hey, bet. Books made Mandingo.
I doubt it.
Turd Ferguson?
All right. We'll take it.
What?
Voluptuous vulvas.
Prolapsed anus.
Yes. My favorite.
No. For my DC people, loose booty!
Frisky freckles.
Ooh.
Velvety vagina.
Crusty cuticles.
Wax buttholes, baby.
Slappy labius.
Chase, DJ.
Tight dick player.
400.